What would you react if they asked you to DH? How would you feel about that?
No.
Very simple. Rafael Devers, after all that had happened with Boston this spring, the move from third base to DH, then them wanting him to play first base.
What about first base?
No.
Here, we don't need him. We got young guys coming up the pipeline. I can get older guys rest. I don't need to pay a designated
Did
here
not want
$300
to
million.
be in Boston anymore, and the Red Sox saw this as an opportunity to get rid of more than $250 million that he was earning in the San
Boston baseball is entering a new era. Rafael Devers is now a member of the San Francisco Giants. Traded as just another in the list of money-saving moves by the new ownership group, Rafael Devers is no more, and instead a pile of pitching prospects have been returned in their favor. Now, new ownership has already made this type of move with Mookie Betts, and we're going to see this probably continue in the future. They have a new vision for what baseball is in Boston, and so we are going to rebuild the Red Sox in their vision. Over the last 7 seasons, we've seen the Boston ownership group tear down the dynastic era of the Boston Red Sox, who, for my entire life, have been one of the most dominant baseball teams in the major leagues. They're moving into a new era where they want to change their methods. They found that their team was too expensive, and while people don't believe this or say, where is this coming from, they have said it themselves. Directly in the Netflix show that they have made about the Boston Red Sox, ownership and GM Craig Breslow has discussed the method and the vision for this team. GM Craig Breslow was brought in with a new intention, essentially to try to replicate some of the good management that other teams have been doing. Boston ownership felt as if their spending was too exorbitant for how other teams were really competing. They saw the Atlanta Braves being able to contend on a much cheaper budget, and especially the Tampa Bay Rays being able to make it to the 2020 World Series and do that on a very minimal budget. And they pinpointed 2 aspects to those 2 teams and how they have been managing their rosters and their young talent they've been building around. The first being the Atlanta Braves, who have really mastered the use of the pre-arbitration extension. In so, they have signed guys like Ronald Acuna and Ozzie Albies to really long deals for way cheaper than market value. And we see them already starting this, with Khristian Campbell being signed to a long extension, $7.5 million per year until 2032. And that's going to be a thing that we're going to do here. It's actually something I've already done in another video as well. So it's something that we talked about before as a great management technique in order to kind of hold on to position players for a long time. The other method is something the Tampa Bay Rays have done. Now, it's a little harder to exhibit in MLBTheShow, and that is develop an expert pitching lab and good pitching development throughout their system. So unlike where they in the past were a team that went out and signed free agent pitchers on a consistent basis, their new goals are going to be around signing young pitchers, extending them, and also developing them into pro pitchers. And that you can see directly with the plan for Bryan Bello. The Red Sox have already extended Bryan Bello on their pre-arbitration extension, meaning if he ends up being developed well, he will be a very, very cheap pitcher. And this is essential because he hasn't necessarily been so yet, but they see a lot of the potential in the way he pitches. And so this is a perfect example because it's a pitcher who they're going to have for cheap and for a long-term deal, and the goal is to turn him into a star pitcher rather than signing one out of nowhere. And that's where you might ask, well, what about Garrett Crochet? Realistically, Garrett Crochet is an ace, and so there's a secondary timeline that I think that the Red Sox were also going for, and that was trying to contend right away too, spend big more money on free agents or guys that they could turn into something, but Crochet is 25. He's a pitcher that you're never going to really find at this value this early, and going to be a Cy Young caliber pitcher for the entirety of this contract, if not beyond. And so Garrett Crochet is a perfect type of addition, a reliever that they found that statistically would be great in their lab as a starter. They brought him in, and while we cannot say necessarily how much of that is attributed to Boston's lab as much as it's Chicago's, Crochet is an ace. Lock, key. Garrett Crochet is an ace. Lock it in. But the rest of this team is young. It still has a whole lot of potential to grow. We have a whole lot of players here who could be something. Actually moved to 2026 so we can see the younger talent on this team. But we have Garrett Crochet, Bryan Bello, you've got Tristan Casas, Khristian Campbell. In the outfield, we have Jarren Duran, Roman Anthony, Ceddane Raffaela, and Wilyer Abreu. At shortstop, Marcelo Mayer should be up soon. You've got, at catcher, you've got a couple guys that could be something. And then you've got arms like starting pitchers or relievers that could totally be a big piece in the future. And so when we look at this team, it's all about deciding how we're going to develop them. They have a lot of young talent. Actually, one of the best young talent teams that we're going to see in Major League Baseball. But none of them are really proven. So we don't necessarily know, I guess, besides Jarren Duran, who is proven. But we don't really know if they're going to end up being competitive. So we have to sign them to cheap deals and then extend them and then hope that we can develop them into serviceable players. It's a risky move that Boston's taking, but if it works, they will be dominant for a long time to come, like we thought the Atlanta Braves would be. And so what we're going to be doing is worrying about those extensions, finding a way to build a team that is going to be really good defensively, and also worrying about the timelines. We want to make sure we're not spending too much money. We have Alex Bregman under contract. We have a couple other guys that are under contract that don't necessarily fit with the young players. And honestly, some of the guys that we have on the team might be excess. Like we're talking about Jarren Duran. He's a little older than everybody else. Is he going to still be at his peak when everybody else is? This is going to be a little bit longer of a rebuild because we have a little bit further to go. We have a lot of players that we need to see if they could develop into something. And our hope is that this team can build into something really spectacular. But we have to do it cheap because ownership will sell off a guy if they don't like how much money I pay them. So let's get into it and start year one of the Boston Red Sox. One benefit to having a team that's so good defensively is Bryan Bello's FIP is 409. but his ERA is 1.37. Another thing that cannot go unstated is that the Boston Red Sox signed Alex Bregman to a contract that had opt-outs after 2025 and 2026. Now, he intended to contend, and if we're not contending at the deadline, it makes more sense to sell him off because he's just going to opt out at the end of this deal, which in this case, because Mlbtheshow doesn't have options, is this year. So at 36 and 36 right now at this part of the season, I might have to sell off Alex Bregman before the end of the season, unless we can make a run, but it's the AL East, it's always going to be competitive. Though first we should get through our MLB draft and see if we can end up getting some top prospects that could potentially replace some of the older guys on the roster, and I think that's going to be a big piece to what we're trying to do here. Looking for something to fix, because losing Devers didn't necessarily mean that we replaced it with the prospects that we got in. We actually got a bunch of pitching prospects and no significant bat to replace Rafael Devers. The thought, I think, being Alex Bregman being that bat. And so what we're looking for in this draft is going to be a lot of bats more than anything, because I think that Devers being replaced is the most essential part to this. And the top guy that I see on the board is Joseph Costa from California. I don't think he's actually going to be somebody who we're going to be able to get. He should be a top pick. This could be a generational talent in left field, though he's not the only one. An even more bat-first player is George Burt, who has almost no defensive ability, but with some speed and really, really good bat skills, could be a fantastic DH for us in the future. Another position we're really going to have to fill is the catcher spot. I think Connor Wong could be a serviceable catcher, but I don't know if he's going to produce, and so we're going to be looking for catchers a lot. Juan Silva is the top guy on my board at that position. Otherwise, we'll always be looking for pitching talent, just per usual whenever we do a rebuild. Find good pitchers, because either you'll use them or they'll be trade pieces. And I think Andres Mendoza, though he's probably going to be pick 1-1, is the best pitcher on the board. We have pick 15. Let's see what'll be available to us. So sadly, George Burt went 3 picks before us. And the reason that hurts is because, as you can see, the top of my draft board, Costa, Mendoza, Richard Chung, were all the top picks. And so the question becomes, do you take a catcher who doesn't have as high of a ceiling and honestly might not even be that good as a top pick? Or do you go with another position? I mean, because look at Brian Chung is another one here that I could take too, who's kind of the same thing. Or do we just go pitcher, which is always a good decision because you can always get top tier talent. And so I'm going to end up probably looking first at making sure there's nobody who's on the board who I didn't think was going to be there. And see if there's anybody here. It doesn't look like it. Looks like there was a couple. I mean, we could totally take some of these guys. I think the one we're going to have to go with, though, just to be the safest, is Matthew Favre. I think of the other, I guess, players, I don't think Juan Silva is worthy of a number 1 pick. I consider him maybe, but as I start to think about it, I kind of want to take a pitcher first. It feels bad because you generally are never going to get the talent that you can get there at some of these position players. I mean, I guess technically we could also take Shane Idom, who would also be a probably serviceable player. I'm taking Shane Idom. I'm changing my mind over and over again. We're taking a first baseman. Sorry to run you through the ringer there. Couldn't really decide what I wanted to take there. I guess first baseman made the most sense. You just get positional. There's just so much more value with taking position players over pitchers. I don't know. Essentially, I debated that for a while. I think that we end up getting the better player in Idom. We'll check and make sure that we got the best player there, but that makes the most sense to me. Right now, we are second in the AL East, meaning that I think we could still convince Bregman to stay. And part of that is due to, I think, a better performance from our lineup than I expected, and a good pitching staff so far to start the season at a 3.54. Now, we're just slightly above average, and this just means that we are in the wild card hunt. But it's still, being above 500 means that we are a competitor, and that means that we have a spot. When we take a look at All-Stars, we do have Garrett Crochet as an All-Star starting pitcher, 2.51 ERA with 114 strikeouts and a 1.21 whip. He's going to be a Cy Young candidate every single year that we do this, and so I'll be excited to see what we can do with him in that role. We don't have any relievers. Do we have any other position players who are going to be considered all-stars? Jarren Duran is an all-star, 289, 19 stolen bases, 8 home runs, and 39 RBIs on the season. So, pretty good start. We have 2 all-stars with Duran and Crochet. Some of the guys who we actually think are kind of pillars to this team is like the older veterans, which is crazy because I think Crochet's 25. So, but anyways, that'll be this team. I think as we sign our guys, we'll consider at the deadline whether or not we are going to sell or buy. It makes more sense to sell, but I don't actually have a whole lot to sell besides maybe Walker Buehler. Before we get into the guys that we drafted, I have to go through the fact that we were finally able to do our pre-arb extensions. So Kyle Harrison's the most expensive one because he is the highest overall of all of our guys, and as a starting pitcher, they are going to have more value. Because he already had some service time, it means that we're not going to get the best deal out of him, but we do get $15 million a year for a starting pitcher who will hopefully contribute till 2031. I think the more interesting deals come from Marcelo Mayer and Roman Anthony. Mayer, who I brought up for 2 days to be able to give him an extension, ends up signing for $9.9 million per year till 2032. And Roman Anthony, who I also did that with, signs for $14.9 million till 2032, where his expected value will be $39 million. We also are going to sell on Walker Buehler, who has a $21 million contract, and if we're trying to save some cash, we're going to trade him to a competitor, which happens to be the Angels somehow, who are leading the AL West. We're just going to get a catcher prospect in Dario Laverde, but he will be something that we can add at least to our farm system while cutting some cash. And so I think we didn't do too badly in this draft. We got an 85 potential first baseman in Shane Idem, who could be something. Good power against lefties, could have some power in total, and might be a future DH. Feels wrong to, spend your first round draft pick on a DH, but at the same time, when you just want to get a powerful bat to try to replace Rafael Devers, you got to take some swings at that. Another one who necessarily won't be a DH, but could end up being something serviceable, is Marcus MacArthur, who has 84 potential, nothing great, but good contact stats. He will dominate in the minor leagues, and the curiosity will be, how long will it take him to get to the majors? Because he's already a 60 overall. We did find a very good pitcher in the 3rd round with Danny Riddick, 62 overall, 92 potential. Found a decent guy who could come up pretty soon, Aaron Luke. Daniel Pinheiro and Tim Shapiro are more assets to trade, essentially. So this was Brian Chung, not necessarily the top catcher I had on my board, but the number 2 catcher I had on my board. Ends up having 87 potential, but he's pretty far away. Joseph Costa was a generational talent, so no wonder he went at number 1 overall. And also, Matthew Favre was a 97 potential, probably should have been the pick over Idem, but you make mistakes. And I'm not too upset about Juan Silva either. 55 overall at catcher, 85 potential. He's not going to get up at a reasonable time, so I think we probably took the second best guy on our board at that case. Idem was below Favre. I should have just respected my original opinion when I judged them and just took the guy who I had above Idem. September, we're 67 and 71. We've lost 5 in a row, but we technically are still only 4 games out of the AL East, which apparently is bad this year. So we might still have a shot at making the playoffs, or we'll have a shot at the top pick. It totally depends. I think the big thing is the offense fell off the map, I guess, in the second half, and it's part of having, basically young, non-experienced bats in the lineup. And we are probably going to lose Bregman at the end of the season because I don't think we're going to be too competitive. So I think it makes sense for him to leave and opt out. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe if we make the postseason, we can keep him. I think that'll be kind of the bar I'll keep for him. But otherwise, top pick maybe. 78 and 84, we missed the postseason this year, and as expected. I mean, we don't have enough really offensively, and I think we are a little bit short in the bullpen. We're going to be able to kind of more efficiently manage this roster once I have some of the bad contracts off the books. So we'll see what we can do this offseason, but first let's take a look at how the rest of the league did. A Cy Young from Garrett Crochet is a bright spot in an otherwise disappointing season. Great year from him. We end up seeing Mike Trout win MVP in the AL. 304, 56 home runs, 141 RBIs for Trout, who has brought the Angels maybe back to the promised land. They were in the race for the division. Maybe they could be a playoff team this year. Cy Young was Crochet. He had a 2.52 ERA, 187 strikeouts, beating out Skubal, who had a 3.11 ERA. Do we have anybody in the Rookie of the Year race? No, because Jacob Wilson exists. I forgot. When it comes to the NL side, you have Shohei Ohtani winning the MVP, hitting 289 with 45 home runs and 138 RBIs. And the Cy Young is Hunter Green with a 2.7. Okay, Paul Skeens got robbed. Paul Skeens got robbed in this race. What? Well, Garrett Crochet did lead an ERA in the AL, who is our first league leader. We also had Jarren Duran lead the way in doubles with 51. On the season, the batting title goes to rookie Jacob Wilson, who hit 327 with the A's on the season, right over Ryan O'Hearn and Jose Ramirez, and Trout, who hit over 300. Also led in hits with 200 hits, Jacob Wilson. Great year. Jarren Duran led in doubles with 51. Home run leader Mike Trout with 56 and 141 RBIs on the season. The saves leader was a two-way tie between Andres Munoz with 52 and Yohan Duran. The ERA leader was Garrett Crochet with a 2.52 over Chris Bubic of the Royals. And your strikeout leader was Cole Reagans with 214. On the NL side, Will Smith got the batting title, hitting 323 for the Dodgers. Leading the way there, your hits leader, Pete Alonso with 191 hits for the Mets. I see Devers down there in 5th with the San Francisco Giants, who also led in at-bats. Doubles leader, Jake McCarthy at 58, and your home run leader, Shohei Ohtani with 45. Saves leader in the NL was Emilio Pagan with 52 saves for the Cincinnati Reds. Your ERA crown handedly, Paul Skeens, who deserves the Cy Young above anything else in the NL. What a great year from him. And your strikeout leader, Mackenzie Gore with 218. For us, veteran reliever Liam Hendriks gets sent down with a 4.32 ERA and a 1.56 whip in what is likely his last season in the major leagues. Still was not necessarily too bad. I don't think anybody else, maybe Justin Wilson pitched? Nope. So nobody else gets sent down. Lucas Giolito with a 4.48 out of the bullpen. Brennan Brenanito 2.33 with a 1.14. He can hold his spot in the bullpen. Greg Wiesert with a 3.16, 1.25 whip. Garrett Whitlock, not good. 6 ERA, 1.66 whip from the reliever. Not a good season from him. Slayton 3.25 with a 1.11. Jordan Hicks came up, didn't pitch much, had a 4.5 ERA with a 1.17 whip. And the Aroldis Chapman had a 2.98 ERA with a 1.12 whip. Look at the regression. But what a great year. 46 saves for him. It gets him to 381 on his career. I don't know why he regressed this badly, but still, he had a fantastic year for us. Garrett Crochet with the Cy Young and 2.52 ERA, 119 whip, 187 strikeouts and 214 innings. Cutter Crawford wasn't great, 4.68 with a 1.36 whip. Kyle Harrison was not good at all. We gave him the extension. Probably should have waited till now, so that way I could have got him for a little cheaper for the production that he had. Bryan Bello was good, 3.37 with a 1.18, and Tanner Houck, 4.98 with a 1.56. Overall, pitching besides Crochet wasn't good. I sent down Abraham Toro and actually waived him in order to do so back in the middle of the season because he was so bad. 144 average on the year. I don't think anybody else. I mean, I brought up Yoshida for a while. Yeah, not good. He's a pinch hitter and ended up not getting a single hit in his opportunities. Did Nate Eaton play? Not good. Okay. All right. That's not a good sign. David Hamilton in 200. Yikes. 265 from Connor Wong. That's pretty good as a backup catcher. Raf Snyder with 218. That's not Raf Snyder. That's not the guy I know. Okay, all right. Roman Anthony and Marcelo Mayer will be called up next season. We were conserving their time. Good thing we actually did, because there's no way they would have won Rookie of the Year, and to get those compensatory picks, you want to save them for a year you think you can win. Now, there is a generational talent on the Nationals, but we are in the AL, so I don't have to worry about that. So we will have those guys play next year, looking for a Rookie of the Year. Jarren Duran, 262 with 19 home runs on the year and 51 doubles. 169 hits. How much WAR did he end up racking up? 2.2, so not as good as he was last year or even in 2023, but still pretty good season from him. Romy Gonzalez, 249 with 9 home runs and 57 RBIs. Bregman played fantastic. And sadly, we're not going to be able to keep this. I think realistically, he would opt out of this contract. And so the way we are going to represent that is we will be cutting him in the offseason, removing him from the 40-man, DFAing him for nothing. Sad, right? I know. Wilyer Abreu, 271, 24 home runs, and an 82 RBIs. Carlos Narvaez, 274 and 8 home runs on the season. Tristan Casas, I wish would do better, and I was considering giving him an extension. Glad I didn't. I can look at it now and maybe consider it, but 227 was not good. Trevor Story, 264, 13 home runs. I mean, he was healthy for a season, which is more than you can normally say. Khristian Campbell, 230 with 13 home runs on the season. He's a more defensive guy. Did he get not even a WAR? Ceddane Raffaela, 217, 15 home runs, 16 RBIs. He did get some WAR. So we need more development from these guys. We need to see them continue to play better. We're going to focus on development more than anything as we go into this season. And I will cut Alex Bregman, and we will have to replace a significant bat in our lineup, likely being replaced with Roman Anthony and Marcelo Mayer. The Phillies defeat the Orioles in the 2025 World Series, and we are going to go into this postseason, or off-season, looking for what we can do to replace Alex Bregman after that season. Your World Series MVP is Bryce Harper, who hit .357 for the Philadelphia Phillies for 2 home runs. Colton Cowser was postseason MVP for the Orioles, and on the National League side, Bryson Stott, .377. And so we are DFAing Alex Bregman to represent his contract opt-out in 2025. Good luck to whatever team you sign to. I hope you can win something, because we could not get that to you here in 2025. And I know it's a sore spot for Boston fans to hear them talk about the money, but the truth is we really just don't actually have any. We have $15 million to spend in free agency. I need to kind of rid some of this team of the bloat in order to be able to put us in contention once again, so we can spend when we get to the point when we're about a year away from a World Series, because that's when you're supposed to spend. And I think that the Red Sox have overspent for a while. Now, still, I'm not excusing the Mookie Betts and the Rafael Devers thing. We're just using their logic, and within their logic, this does make sense. I wasn't recording because I wasn't looking. What? We are number 1. Okay. All right. No pressure. Starting 2026, this team is still an absolute mess of a roster. But now that we have kind of obliged all the needs, we no longer have Bregman under contract. We've given out our pre-arbitration extensions to our guys. We have pretty much all of the acknowledgments of the things that we have to do to make sure that this team can be fulfilled. Now we just have to get outside of the muddy contract situation we are in, because we're still paying this team $270 million this year. And the problem with that is Trevor Story's $23 million, Giolito's $19 million, Yoshida's $18 million, Hicks is $11, Sandoval's is $9. I mean, I don't mind these contracts, the $4 million, these. You know, we're paying extra, essentially, for guys to be cheaper down the road for these players that I think could be serviceable. I mean, because you're getting a massive deal in the Crochet deal, but we need good production from these players, and I need to be able to get out from under the books. So pitching staff this year isn't going to look great. Essentially, we're going Crochet, Cutter Crawford. I did get Zach Littell on a pretty good deal. $8 million, 8.7 technically per year. Bryan Bello still here. Tanner Houck is still here as starters, with Harrison and Giolito in the bullpen, primarily because I think I need more development out of Harrison first. The bullpen arms are terrible. I brought in Jake Junis for a very, very cheap deal. We got AJ Puck off of Rule 5. Otherwise, our bullpen didn't really have any money to spend. In the lineup, didn't really spend much either. We ended up bringing in Nolan Jones, who I was able to get for $2.7 million per year. If he ends up developing into a good bat, that could be a DH, that could be a third baseman. It depends on what we need. And then in the AAA, I mean, I guess we still technically have these guys like Idam who could develop too. So as we look at this season, we have the number 1 overall pick. We are not necessarily going to be competitive, but I think once you add the number 1 pick to this young core, that could be something. Let's just see if we can get a good overall guy at the top of this draft. So with the number 1 overall pick, we have to kind of look to see if we can find a generational talent. Now, that also means that I feel like the Idem pick makes less sense again, because now we're getting another position player to a team that already has a lot. And I probably should have gotten a pitcher here, but we'll see what's available, because if there's a generational pitcher, maybe that's what we take instead. We're looking at Carlos Ibanez near the top, who could be something. We have a 21-year-old in Andrew Clemens, another 21-year-old here. I'm going to check every single position player near the top, which they are all position players, it looks like. We're going to be spending a lot of time scouting near the top of this draft. I'm probably not going to find anything near the back half of it, but we could get a generational talent, and I want to make sure to guarantee that I get it if it's there. He's a generational talent. 100%. Even if he... Okay, I'm taking back 100%. If he's not, he's going to be really, really good anyways. So I think this is our pick. We have the number 1 overall pick in the draft, looking for generational talents. And what a year it's going to be to have it, because I think we have one, if not multiple. And I'm starting to debate whether or not Carlos Ibanez really is the top-end talent of this draft. We take a look at him, 86 to 98 potential, 67 to 79 overall. He looks phenomenal, but I think Julian Silva might be, or it's Julian because he's from Maine. Julian Silva might be better. This dude might be the actual generational talent. And that's not to say that these are the only two. I think Anthony Franco could be a generational talented starting pitcher. I think that we could see, I don't think Bryce Campillo is one, but I also think Ronald Hairston could be one of the god prospects we've seen as a closer. Somebody who is above 80 plus overall and still has 90 something high potential. This is a draft. And so with the number 1 overall pick to decide the fate of the Boston Red Sox, Carlos Ibanez or Julian Silva, I think I'm going to go with my gut. I think it's Julian Silva. I think he's the better player. Julian Silva it is. We're taking him number 1. Oh, this could be wrong. What's even crazier to me is we're not adding the number 1 overall pick to some rebuilding team. We're adding it to the number 1 team in the AL East. What a year we're having to be able to be in this position. I'm kind of surprised. We should not be this competitive, but we are. We're 1 game or 1.5 over the Rays. The Yankees aren't good. The Orioles aren't good. The Blue Jays aren't good. And so even in the wild card, I mean, the Rays are leading the wild card. So as long as we can hold this together, maybe I'll buy here at the deadline and we'll see what we can add. We might be able to make the playoffs. And looking at All-Stars, it's not because of, Garrett Crochet. It's because of AJ Puck. Look at 1.71 ERA in the bullpen. What a Rule 5 pickup that was. Can't believe he got left unclaimed by another team. And in the lineup, I mean, do we really need anything? Because we don't have a single guy in the lineup that was an All-Star. 1 reliever. And we're in the lead of the AL East. Oh yeah, trust your gut. Julian Silva, generational talent. I mean, we got to check to make sure Ibanez was too. But what a draft. 99 potential. We're adding this to a playoff team. Like, I think I didn't make any moves at the deadline because I was stressed to make sure I made the right move. We'll have to check, make sure Ibanez is also there. But what a draft pick. Campillo is good. Arnold Vasquez is 98 potential. Victor Marrero's 89. And then we just took some swings down here. 80 potential, 76. I mean, not bad for guys late in the draft that got something. Let's check Ibanez, see if we made the right move. Oh, he wasn't generational. He wasn't. Okay. We made the right move. All right, Ibanez was not generational. We picked the right player despite being ranked 2. Trust your gut, everybody. Trust your gut. Wow, this draft is stacked. I mean, 98 potential then from Anthony Franco as a first-round pick. Whoa, Hairston, 84 overall, 95 potential. Compensatory second round or compensatory first round pick. Oh, Orioles got lucky on that one. Okay, all right. I think we did good. As we enter the month of September, we have had a little bit of a slide here in the month of August. And so we are now only a half game up above the Tampa Bay Rays, meaning we are going to be in a tough position to hold on to this AL East. Now, our benefit is that the AL East is the worst division, but that also means if we fail to win our division, we probably are not going to find ourselves in the playoffs. So we have to take down and make sure we beat the Rays this year. We have 1 month of play, and also should be able to get some rookie years out of this. Or rookie of the year with, I'm going to guess that our other guy is going to be number 2. We win our division going 87-75. We will be taking on the Tigers in the divisional series this postseason. Whew. We'll take that tiebreaker over the Rays. They also made the playoffs, but that is a close race for us to end up getting that. They were the better team this season, and we just got a little lucky because it looks like they got swept in their last series of the season. We get AL Rookie of the Year from Roman Anthony, center fielder. I'm glad to see that we had that production from the rookie. Yordan Alvarez wins the MVP with 49 home runs and 132 RBIs, and Alex Bregman was second for Seattle. Good for them, I guess. Junior Caminero was third in the MVP race. Cy Young goes to Kris Bubic of the Kansas City Royals with Joe Ryan and Jack Flaherty behind. I see, right behind him, but I guess really not even close. 6.6 ERA for Josh Hader. All right, crazy season. Neither of them hit well. 223 and 223, but they had power and they played the whole time. Because who is Kobe Thomas? 339? It's a small sample size. But whoa, not on my list of A's to watch for. Roman Anthony gets Rookie of the Year. On the NL side, Bryce Harper wins the MVP. 39 home runs, 306, and 132 RBIs, taking it from Shohei Ohtani. And your Cy Young is Spencer Strider, who probably robbed Paul Skeens again. 183, and that's not a Cy Young? Okay. We do have a league leader in saves. AJ Puck with 53 saves on the year gets that. The batting average and batting title goes to J.P. Crawford. The Seattle Mariners hitting .331 on the year, beating out Jacob Wilson and Lawrence Butler. Hits 209 from J.P. Crawford. 2 guys over 200, also seeing Jacob Wilson right there at 204. When it comes to home runs, your home run leader was Yordan Alvarez with 40. Junior Caminero hit 45. Wow, okay. Yordan had 49 and 132 RBIs on the season. We have the saves leader, AJ Puck, with 53 saves on the year. Doesn't win reliever of the year because Josh Hader. 50 saves on a .66 ERA. Wow. What a year from him. ERA, Drew Rasmussen and Bryce Miller with both with 2.65 to lead the way there. And your strikeout leader in the AL, not Kris Bubic, Cole Reagans with 199. Batting title in the NL goes to Ronald Acuna, hitting .319 on the year for the Atlanta Braves. Your hits leader was Trey Turner with 196 for the Philadelphia Phillies. And your home runs leader was Shohei Ohtani with 40, beating out a two-way tie between Pete Alonso and Bryce Harper with 39. Saves leader for the NL, Arizona Diamondbacks, Justin Martinez with 59 saves on the year, coming just short of the, and if he doesn't blow some of these saves, looks like he got a lot of opportunities. That could have been the record in the first saves. I think that's like 61. ERA, yeah, Skeens gets robbed for Cy Young. And strikeout leader, Mackenzie Gore with 222. Jacob Junis gets sent down with a 4.05 ERA and a 1.15 whip. I mean, it's a pretty good whip, but negative WAR because our defense is really good. So if they're sitting with a 4 ERA, that means they were way worse. And a 5.68 FIP is unacceptable out of our bullpen arm that we were hoping to be able to be something this season. I don't think anybody else got sent down. So in our actual rotation, Lucas Giolito, 2.11 with a 1.28 whip out of the bullpen. I'm going to guess, I think he's a free agent. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get him for cheap like I want to. Kyle Harrison, 4.15, 1.33 was kind of okay. We see Patrick Sandoval, 2.16, small sample size. Greg Wiesert, 281 with a 104. That's really good. Jordan Hicks put it together. 288 with a 119 whip. Really good for him in 93 innings. Glad that we gave him the shot after he was pretty poor the last 2 years. Garrett Whitlock, 397 and a 138. Slayton, 187 and a .89. And AJ Puck. I like the back end of this bullpen. And if Jordan Hicks is playing well, then I guess I'm not as concerned. Garrett Crochet, 327, 1-1 whip, was unable to follow up as fantastic of a year as last year when he won the Cy Young. Maybe we'll see him back in that race in the following season. Cutter Crawford, 379 with a 122 was okay. Zach Littell, 351 with a 124. All right. Bryan Bello, that's rough. 462 with a 141. And like we said, we have a very good defense. Okay. He doesn't actually get hit as hard, 475 FIP. But we need this. We need him to get down to here or to here. And Tanner Houck, 427 with a 133. Looks like the pitching rotation wasn't necessarily great, but the bullpen was pretty good. In the lineup, we had nobody get sent down, so we had David Hamilton, who hit 222 off the bench. Nolan Jones hit 265 and 5 home runs, 339 on base. I like to see that. Noda had a small sample size. Connor Wong, 267 and 217 at-bats at catcher. Roman Anthony hit 223 with 22 homers this year. Didn't really, 661 OPS is not great. Negative WAR. Got Rookie of the Year, didn't really deserve it. Wilyer Abreu, 260 for 28 home runs and 78 RBIs. That's actually a lot of power for Wilyer. I guess maybe he's a power bat. Didn't really think of him that way. Marcelo Mayer, 223, 17 home runs and 61 RBIs. How'd he do comparatively for WAR? Yikes, he was also bad. Okay, all right, the prospects were not good. Tristan Casas, 261, 32 home runs, 77 RBIs. We see 11 RBIs and a 227 average from Khristian Campbell, who I probably not. He's a very cheap contract, but yeah, probably not really providing much value. 246, 8 home runs from Narvaez. Jarren Duran hit 277 for 16 home runs and 76 RBIs and 29 stolen bases. Ceddane Raffaela, 16 homers, 249 average. And Trevor Story, 15 homers, 243 average. Probably the highest WAR as one of the best defensive players. 2.2 WAR. Actually, let's check Duran, because Duran probably had a good amount too. 3.1. So, yeah, we need another year, honestly. I'm glad we made the playoffs with this team, but we need another year to see these guys actually develop, because Anthony, Mayer, didn't really see what I wanted to see out of them. And so in the first round, we are taking on Detroit to go play Minnesota in the ALDS. It's kind of up to us to see if we can do this here in this 3-game series against the Detroit Tigers, who are probably a much better team than us, but you never know. Crochet versus Skubal in game 1. Okay, whatever. We win 3-2. I must have had a lefty outside of the lineup. We win a bullpen game. We are up 1-0 on Detroit. Cutter Crawford versus Jack Flaherty in game 2. We lose that one. Puck seems to have blown it. Making it game 3, elimination game. Zach Littell versus Casey Mize in Boston. We lost. I don't know what just happened to my mouth on that statement. Sorry about that. Dodgers defeat the Mariners in the 2026 World Series. Honestly, I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed by losing in the first round. Obviously, you don't want to lose in the first round, but I don't think we did too bad. This is a pretty good season. We turned around. We played a really, really young roster and made the playoffs with a really, really young roster, and we'll be able to maintain that going into this offseason. So let's see what we can do in the offseason with our new young guys. I think probably need to work on the rotation, bullpen a little bit. I guess not really the bullpen, but rotation, because the lineup, when do I bring up Silva? Do I bring him up right away? Because he's going to be good. He'd win Rookie of the Year. Unless, I don't know, unless the White Sox bring up Ibanez at the same time. Might have to bring him up right away. I don't know. We'll think about it. We kind of have a surplus of outfielders at this point, so I need to kind of decide how I want to supplement this roster, knowing that we need a guy who's kind of just a designated bat, and then our outfield as the other positions, because we pretty much have a first baseman in Casas. Second baseman is okay with Khristian Campbell. Shortstop, Myers should take over eventually. Third, still don't really know. Right now it could be Mayer, and we could still have Story. We could still figure that out. And then in the outfield, you've got Rafaela, Duran, Abreu, Anthony, and Silva. That's 5 guys out there. I can't afford to have all of them out there. Looking at the offseason, Giolito's asking for $18 million. He's not worth $18 million. We're going to be kind of cheap, I think, this offseason. I'm not going to spend much. If I do, it's going to be on a bullpen arm, maybe one or two. We'll see what's kind of available. But we don't need any bats. Well, we do need bats, but we don't need any players for our lineup because we've got so many young guys that we need to give, I guess, innings to in the outfield and in the infield. And the question will kind of rely on how they perform. It's going to be all in our success. Not investing anything in free agency. We need actual player development to succeed. And so we're going to be entering 2027, coming off our playoff appearance, being able to add some additional weapons to a team just based off the pure, benefit of having an early pick in last year's draft. The pitching staff is mostly staying the same. We're going Crochet, Cutter Crawford, Zach Littell, Bryan Bello, Kyle Harrison in the lineup. We moved off of Sandoval, and we moved off of Giolito this offseason. Didn't make sense to me to pay $12 million to Sandoval or $18 to Giolito. And so they get to go sign somewhere else, play somewhere else this season. Maybe they'll be good, maybe they won't. But one of the big things we've talked about is trying to make sure we are being a little cheaper. And if I'm going to pay the guys that I want to pay, the players that I want to keep, we have to make sure not to pay the guys that we don't want to. So I did bring in a couple guys. I brought in David Bednar as a reliever, got him for $3 million a year. Nothing really big there. And then we also got Johnny Lasagna for a good $3 million a year. He had a really, really good season last year with the A's. And I want to see if he can capitalize on that and do that again for us this year. We also have Jason Foley, who we got on I think he was waived or something. I can't remember how I got him at this point because it's kind of a shock that he was even available to us. So I think he got waived and I picked him up for nothing. And so we have him as well in our bullpen too. So that's going to be our bullpen with AJ Puck now getting a contract extension to play for the next 5 years as a reliever. And in the lineup, we're going to try to kind of finagle a little bit of production from this entire team. I wanted to put the 3 best defensive outfielders out in the outfield. Roman Anthony, Jarren Duran, and Wilyer Abreu. And Raffaela is good too, but he can also play shortstop. By him playing shortstop, that could mean Mayer can play third, Campbell can still play second, and that gives me a chance to put Julian Silva into the lineup, who is going to be a DH just because he's not that good defensively. And when I have better defensive guys, he's got to play DH. Casas is going to be the big thing. We don't really have any power. So Casas is going to have to hit the homers. I mean, Abreu can too. I'm really hoping for a great season out of Abreu because he was really good last year, and I hope to see something similar. We also signed Jonah Bride for nothing, and he's a good bench bat first baseman. And so with us bringing Silva up right away, that means we don't necessarily have any guys besides Idem down here waiting to come up. He could be a DH in the future too. Just depends on how Casas plays, I guess. So with this in mind, this is the roster going into 2027. We're young, we're good defensively, and the question is, can we produce now with our bats to make up for the loss of Rafael Devers? Kyle Harrison starting the season pitching basically nothing but gems. He gives up 1 run, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0. What a great start to the season by our big acquisition of the Devers trade. And Tibbs, honestly, has been playing pretty well himself. If we didn't have an abundance of outfielders, I'd probably call this dude up. Looking at the MLB draft, we have a pick in the early 20s this year. With our loss in the wildcard playoff round means that we are not going to have the jump up, but we will still be in a good position to get a good player. We also do have a compensatory pick in the first round with pick 32, thanks to the Roman Anthony Rookie of the Year. So I'm actually looking forward to us being able to get a couple guys. Now, the one thing that I have to say, I spent a lot of time scouting catchers, and there is a surefire can't miss prospect at catcher. And if he falls to me, he's guaranteed the pick. That's Manny Quiraz. It's a Q. So Manny Quiraz, I'm going to go with that, or something like that. He ends up being 84 to 99 potential, up to number 1 on our board. Great contact, good vision, good discipline. Catcher is one of the only positions that we really need to fulfill now. Outfield, I try to avoid just scouting outfielders in general because we just don't need them at this point. And Giras makes so much sense with a team that still needs to figure out one last position. But if he's not there, there's a third baseman, Elvis Aguilar, who I also like, which is another position that we need. Good contact, good vision, good discipline, just all around a good looking bat, and could just be an all around good looking player. Really seems like a perfect fit for this Boston Red Sox roster. And if not those guys, I found a boatload of starting pitchers that could possibly be picks. And there's some that look way better than others, some that are somewhere in the middle, some guys with higher potential, some guys with better skill sets. It's just going to be all about what is available to us with our first round pick. Everybody made it really easy for me. Manny is still available. He's still on the board. Lock him in. Number 1 pick for us in pick 23. I will mention before I take him, this guy could be generational. He's injured though, fell down to 18th. So we're going to end up getting one of the guys that I like, and Aguilar actually went all the way up to pick 11. So we didn't have a backup plan, really. And so at the All-Star break, we are 62-35, leading the AL East by a very small margin over the Baltimore Orioles, who seem to have put a good team together offensively. And as you can see, a lot of our team is depending on this great pitching staff so far this year, as we kind of are hitting below average. I mean, especially in the AL East, we're actually the worst offensive lineup in the East, but we have really good pitching, and that's kind of a good factor to this team, and I think a big piece to how we're going to succeed here. When you look at it, Kyle Harrison is pitching phenomenally right now. If you wanted to talk about trying to replace Devers with any of the assets in this trade, if Harrison were to play like this, I think everybody would be pretty satisfied with what they've gotten in return, because 1.11 ERA at the end, or at All-Star break, with 121 innings under his belt. I mean, he's given up a total of 15 runs this year. 15 in 19 games. Crazy start to the season. We also have, I don't believe I have a bullpen arm in the All-Star game. I'm curious if we have any other guys with such a big lead here. Jarren Duran is an all-star. He's got 20 stolen bases, 13 home runs, hitting 259. And Julian Silva, our rookie, has 18 homers and 58 RBIs, hitting 269 to start off his season. This could be a really, really good player for us. 839 OPS already, 1.45 WAR despite being a DH. This is going to be a really, really good bat, I think, for us. And if he continues to develop that bat, we talk about improving the power, improving the contact, we could start seeing something really, really special as a potential DH here, saying that we kind of wanted to get somebody who was just a bat, and Silva might be enough. I feel like this is a big trade we got to talk about, because, wow, I feel like the Giants got fleeced in this deal. I mean, I guess they get off the Chapman contract, but for Tyrone Taylor, Jose Azocar, and JT Brubaker, the Yankees got Chapman for that? We get the number 1, number 3, and number 4 guys on our board, and wow, does it hit so well. Manny is the 93 potential, really good contact stats and vision. This dude is going to be a stud at catcher once he gets up to the major leagues. Kurt McIntyre, I love that he's got good walks and hits per 9, 63 overall, 92 potential. And Diego Nieve, I love it already. 88 potential with 93 hits per 9 to start off before he even gets to the majors. This dude could be in our bullpen this year. Is he going to be? No, because I'm going to try to manipulate the service time as much as possible and make sure that I can keep on holding on to this guy, because he is really good looking as a reliever. This dude could be like a generational closer if you really let him play it. We do get an 81 overall in Oswaldo Ortiz, 78 on a swing on Gregorio Castaneda, Garrett Gregg 73, whatever, and a 94 potential catcher in the 6th round with just no information about this guy. And Elvis was pretty good too. So if we were unable to get Manny and Elvis was there instead, I don't think I'd be that upset. Great bat, 86 potential. Nationals got him and a generational talent. I mean, they're building about as good of a roster as we are right now. Going into the last month of this season, we are looking at a potential Second division title in a row. Now, I think the thing with this season is we are significantly worse offensively than a lot of our peers are. I mean, look at the average difference right here. So only a 1 point, but the slugging percentage difference is 55 points between us and the Orioles, who are right on our tail in the AL East. Now, pitching, we are still outdoing them, but I actually think our pitching is a little bit overrated right now. Because you can look at about 2 guys in this rotation and be like, okay, this pitching staff is generational, like one of the best pitching staffs we've ever seen. Garrett Crochet, 283-114 with 127 strikeouts in the season. That's great. Kyle Harrison, 133 with a .85 whip in 168 innings. This is like Cy Young caliber pitching. And then, okay, 381, 128, all right. Ooh, 495, 138, not good for Littell. Ooh, 541, 157. You'd be like, okay, well, why don't you just go put Tanner Houck in the rotation? No, I'm not doing that either. Okay, well, what about Garrett Whit? Nope, can't do that. How about Jordan Hicks? Probably not that either. And so you're like, okay, could we just go to one of the minor league guys? I haven't really seen anything out of Aaron Luke to be able to tell me, oh yeah, this guy's definitely going to be able to take that spot. And so we're just kind of stuck here with a lot of these arms that I'm just not confident in. We have a couple that we are. Slayton's good. Lasagna, not good. I know it's Loisaga. Johnny Lasagna. Jason Foley's been good this year, and AJ Puck has been good this year, but we're going to get to this postseason and be like, okay, we're good for 2 games because we're going to get lit up by game 3 because our lineup hasn't exactly shown a lot. Now, Julian Silva, this dude's legit. 32 home runs, 89 RBIs at this point. Like, he's getting rookie of the year. Lock that in. This dude is legit really, really good. And I mean, the problem is the rest of it just hasn't even been that great. I had to move Marcelo Mayer out of the lineup because he's hitting 208. Like, that's rough. No. So I don't know. We really, Julian Silva's the only difference we've made, I guess, is that we've seen Julian Silva play better or, come into the lineup, had a ton of value, and Kyle Harrison play really, really well. Outside of those two, this team has not been that much better than last year. But 99-63, we end up winning our division. We'll be taking on the winner of the wild card playoff game, meaning we got ourselves a little bye. Wait, 1 of 1. We only got a rookie of the year? How did Harrison not... I mean, good for Julian Silva. How did Harrison not get Cy Young? Julian Silva, AL Rookie of the Year. MVP, Aaron Judge, 46 home runs, 323 average. I see Caminero and Kurtz after... What kind of highway robbery is this, dude? Hunter Brown, 279, 211 strikeouts. Harrison had a 1.47 ERA. 1.47. He gave up 32 runs in 32 starts. That's so stupid. Okay, and then we had Rookie of the Year from Julian Silva, who was phenomenal. But, all right, looks like the NL voters moved over to the AL this year. When we look at the Schwarber won MVP for the Mets, hitting 266 with 48 home runs, 127 RBIs. Cy Young, Chris Bubik, 189, 203. Well, no wonder. They had a very surefire, easy Cy Young. Of course, he's with the Braves now. So they had to go, rob somebody else, and it's us. That's BS. How did Kyle Harrison not win a Cy Young? Well, Kyle Harrison led in ERA, WHIP, and WAR. So, no categorical significance to any of those things. Anyways, when it comes to the AL, batting title goes to Nolan Schanuel of the Angels, first baseman, with a 3.34 average over Aaron Judge. Hits leader was Bo Bichette with 191 for the Blue Jays. And your home runs leader, actually looks like we had some pretty close. We had a good doubles. 42 was one behind for Silva. Triples, we had a tie for Duran. But home runs leader, Aaron Judge with 46. Saves leader in the AL is Griffin Jacks of the Twins with 51 saves on the season. ERA crown, handedly, Kyle Harrison. Anyways, strikeout leader Hunter Brown with 211. Batting title in the NL goes to Rafael Devers of the San Francisco Giants, who hit 316 on the season for 203 hits, leading the way there. When it comes to doubles, he was second. When it comes to home runs, Kyle Schwarber led the way with 48 home runs. I feel like Devers gets robbed in this one because he was good across the board. Okay. Saves leader is Tanner Scott of the Dodgers with 60 saves on the season. Your ERA crown goes to Chris Bubik with a 1.89 ERA for the Braves. And strikeouts leader Mackenzie Gore with 220. Johnny Lasagna got sent down. He was not good for 9.129. He did not replicate what he did last year that I was hoping to see from the A's. Bad signing, I guess, from me. When it comes up to the major leagues, Bednar 408 with a 1.3 whip. Small sample size, but wasn't really that great. Whitlock 4.59 with a 1.26. Meh. Slayton was good. 1.87 with a .92 whip. Jordan Hicks is all right. 3.73 with a 1.44. Tanner Houck was not good. 4.91 with a 1.41 whip. Foley was good. Weissert, small sample size, but not good. 5.4, 1.29. And AJ Puck was great again. Out of the bullpen, Crochet 2.82 with a 1.16 whip and 159 strikeouts was great. Cutter Crawford, 3.39 with a 1.22 whip and 120 strikeouts, also pretty good. Littell, not good, 4.9 with a 1.41. Bello, awful, 5.28 with a 1.61. And Kyle Harrison. Okay. We'll get him next year, buddy. We'll get him next year. Jonah Bride got sent down, hit 189, 253 on base. Wasn't really worth anything for me up at the major league level. Nobody else gets sent down. When it comes up to what we had at the major league level, Nolan Jones, 252 with 3 homers this year. 364 on base, so he's still serviceable. Trevor Story, 185. He's $23 million next year still. Okay, David Hamilton, small sample size, so that really doesn't mean anything. And 208 from Marcelo Mayer with a 267 on base. I need something better than this, dude. That was awful. Duran, 257, 19 home runs, 71 RBIs with 26 stolen bases, or 72 RBIs. 257 with a 746 OPS on the season, ends up racking up 3.7 WAR. Gold Glove caliber. Oh, he got one. Gold Glove for Duran. Silva, 269, 39 home runs, 112 RBIs, 42 doubles. We're talking about, I mean, look, 89 extra base hits on the season for our rookie. Almost didn't count triples. Like, 892 OPS in his rookie season at 18 years old. 3.6 WAR. Yeah, this is going to be great. Love him already. All-Star, Silver Slugger, and a Rookie of the Year. For Silva, Wilyer Abreu, 251, home runs, 79 RBIs. Did he get a Gold Glove? He did not. Power numbers went down a little bit, I think, for him, but not necessarily like too bad. Basically did what he did last year. Casas, 250, 32 home runs, 89 RBIs. Connor Wong, 256 with 9 homers and 56 RBIs. We had Carlos Narvaez, 264 with 12 and 73. Khristian Campbell, 283, 9 homers. Ceddane Raffaela, 240 with 11 homers. And Roman Anthony, 252 with 20 homers. So, improvement. He improved. Oh, Meyer didn't, but Roman Anthony got better. I mean, is he a positive WAR player? Yes. I guess last year I had him as DH, and now I had him in the outfield, so it's a significant difference. But yes, love to see that. We are taking on the Baltimore Orioles here in the ALDS. On the other side, we have Tampa Bay and Minnesota. Milwaukee's playing the Dodgers, and the Mets are playing the Braves. So we are kind of down to winning this one. I mean, it's a division rival. They should have a better offense. We kind of have to win game 1 and 2 behind Crochet and Harrison. If we can pull a game off the other guys, then maybe. Crochet, game 1 versus Grayson Rodriguez. Okay, never mind. Harrison versus Eflin, 4-2. Good game from Harrison. We are 1-1. We have to take a game off them in Baltimore now. With the worst part of our rotation, Crawford's still pretty good. Crawford versus Bradish, we lose 3-8. We are down 2-1 to Baltimore. Bryan Bello versus Dean Kramer. In game 4, we lose 8-10. We are eliminated by the Orioles. And the Tampa Bay Rays defeat the Milwaukee Brewers in the 2027 World Series. Junior Caminero is World Series MVP in the AL, and the postseason MVP, Jonathan Aranda for the Rays, gets that, and in the NL side, Contreras for the Brewers. See if we can make it next time. Looks like our AL East is extremely competitive. One thing I think we're going to have to consider this offseason is how we're going to improve that starting rotation. I like the idea of developing Bryan Bello into something and, having Cutter Crawford be a very valuable pitcher and Tanner Houck and all the guys that are on this team and bringing back Jordan Hicks and turning him into something serviceable. But Harrison and Crochet did so well that the rest of the pitching staff was so disappointing. It wouldn't hurt to try to invest in starting pitching this offseason. And I'm kind of trying to debate how I want to go about it because I don't want to spend too much money. Or we just stick with the same rotation and hope that was just a fluke. But then at the same time, what if Kyle Harrison was a fluke? However, looking at our budget, I don't see how we're going to be able to do this in free agency. We just have $25 million for a pitcher. It's not enough money. And I don't really think I want to do like the Bailey Ober deal. Gonsolin could, but I'm not really having a lot of faith in the guys that are there. If we're going to make a move in the offseason for a starting pitcher, it's got to be via trade. A pitcher that I think could be interesting just to add at least to like our team as a possible, maybe he just pitches in AAA as just like another option, is Dylan Lesko of the Colorado Rockies, who hasn't been good yet. This is only year 2, hasn't necessarily been great, but we can get him for essentially Luis Perales and Lamar King Jr., a couple mediocre, decent prospects. They are MLB caliber prospects. They'll probably be up like next year, and the Rockies need that. So if we can get a guy in Lesko for that, let's try it. Going into the 2028 season, we look a little bit better. I think overall the whole roster is just a little bit improved, especially in the pitching staff, even if we didn't make any significant changes to the actual rotation right now. Crochet, Harrison, Crawford, Bello, Houck in the starting rotation with Littell in the bullpen, and then Slayton Bednar, Johnny Lasagna, Garrett Whitlock, Foley, and Puck. Really, this is the same rotation, but what I like about it is we can look at Aaron Luke could come up at any point. Lesko could now come up at any point. We have Jose Bello, part of the trade for Devers, could possibly develop and come up at some point. We have our second round, or our first, I think it was a second round pick, Diego Nieve, who looks fantastic, could come up soon. So, and then there's all the like bullpen arms that I have in waivers right now that could also come up too. But essentially, we're in a good spot. We could call up anybody if we need to. And so I think I'm kind of liking what we could do with this rotation. Now the question is, can Bryan Bello please put it together? And lineup-wise, going pretty simple. Same lineup for the most part as we had last year. Duran, Silva, Abreu, Casas, Anthony, Carlos Narvaez, Khristian Campbell, Raffaela, and Marcelo Mayer. Only additions we are doing is Edward Julian is going to come up, and James Tibbs is going to come up, other part of the Devers trade. He's out of options, and I think, why not? Let's give him a shot. Jonah Bride got sent down, and we also do have Shane Idom, who could come up at any point if he is playing well and somebody else isn't. There's a good chance that Trevor Story gets DFA'd at some point this season if he ends up being as bad as he was the last 2 years. He's on the bench. It doesn't really make much of a difference to me, so if we got to DFA him, we got to DFA him. But nevertheless, in every situation, it's all about winning the AL East and going on to a playoff run where hopefully we can get a little bit further, maybe to an ALCS, and see if we can make a run. I think a lot of this is going to require a little bit more production from everybody, and we're going to need another breakout star to appear here in Boston. This is going to be the last year that we're going to show the draft, and that's because I don't think any of these other players are really going to end up progressing to a level that we're going to see them by the time we are contending. And so when we looked at the draft, I was just kind of looking for high potential pieces, essentially, to try to turn them into trade pieces more than anything, knowing that I kind of like our lineup as is. And so the top guy on my board is still tipping on Fofos. It's Mike Jones. 89 to 94 potential, 63 to 68 overall. Kind of a guaranteed lock, good shortstop from Cuba. Doubt he'll be there when we take our pick. I think one of the most fun players that could be there when we take our pick, and I kind of want to take him just because of it, is Howard Yamaguchi, who, if you recall, was on my draft board from last season because he was actually a first-round pick last year. Didn't get signed, and yeah, he doesn't have a great bat. But I still think it'd be fun to take a guy that didn't get signed last year and could have really high potential. But if we fail to end up getting any of those position players that have the high potential rating and are a little bit safer picks, we could go with a closer, because I do think we still need bullpen arms besides Nieve. And Reed Lakdawala from Colorado could be one of the best ones that I have found, and could be, because we do have 2 first-round picks, our selection in the first or even in the compensatory round. Still tipping on Fofos. He's the number 1 pick. So Mike Jones is gone, which, whatever. There's a couple, two guys that I'm really looking at here, and I wonder if I could get both of them, honestly. And that's Howard Yamaguchi and Duncan McGee. I think Duncan McGee is actually better than Yamaguchi. And then we also have the closer. And that's where I'm kind of debating whether or not I'd want the closer. I think I can actually get bullpen arms pretty well. I don't necessarily know if I want to use a draft pick on one. And so I think I'm going to try to take the risk to go Yamaguchi and then McGee and see if I can get both of them. And then we'll just go for pitchers for the rest of the draft. So we're going to go Yamaguchi first, because he should be the pick that goes first over the 2 of them. And if I mess up and McGee is gone by the time we have our next pick, we'll grab Lakdawala. And so at the All-Star break, we are definitely not winning our division this year. This is going to be a fight for the wild card. And for another year, we don't have a great offense. And honestly, the bullpen is even worse than it was last year. I think what we're going to have to do this offseason is completely rework this bullpen and just start from scratch with it. And I might even have to do that same thing with the rotation. Outside of Crochet and Harrison, I don't know if I can trust anybody. We have not been able to figure out pitching, and it's really, really hurt us, I think, in the development, especially in a division where we have the Rays, who are going to dominate in pitching. Taking a look at All-Stars, we don't have any in the starting rotation, so Harrison's been fine. I think he started off the season really, really poor. He gave up I think there was a big loss early in the season. He had like an 8 ERA after the first month, but he's back down to like a 3 after, coming back down to normal, having a bad start, but did okay. But we haven't had a great season out of him yet. And Crochet's been good too. But I think like both of those guys have been all right, but the rest of the guys have not. So our bullpen hasn't been good. We just don't have anything there. So I'm actually curious. Khristian Campbell's an all-star. He's hitting 292, 15 home runs. That's good for him. And then, do we have any others? Jarren Duran is also an all-star. He's hitting 312 in the leadoff spot, which is really, really good to see. 22 stolen bases, 11 homers, 37 RBIs. Love that. And no DH. So I guess our rookie did not make it this time. Or not rookie anymore, Julian Silva. Yeah, it's just kind of mid across the board when it comes to the lineup. I don't think anybody's been terrible besides maybe Roman Anthony. And so it's like hard to tell. It makes me kind of want to think, do I just put James Tibbs in there for a while and just say, hey, Roman, come on, you gotta balance this thing out, because you've been bad and I cannot have this out of you right now. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Roman, you can still play against lefties, but I'm not having this right now. I'll put Wilyer out there, and you just need. We'll let Tibbs play. Tibbs has been all right this season. And for the pitching rotation at this point, I mean, Crochet has been good, actually. 286 just isn't getting wins, so isn't going to get the credit for an all-star. And Kyle Harrison is down under a 3 ERA now. So Crochet and Harrison, the 2 lefties, very, very good. Crawford, he's a free agent at the end of the season. He's not getting signed. Bello, man, that's been a terrible investment. Tanner Houck, actually all right. Littell, man, that's been a terrible investment. Slayton's been all right. Bednar, not a good free agent signing. Honestly, Loizaga hasn't been that good either. Whitlock's been fine. Foley has been bad, and Puck. I mean, do I bring up Aaron Luke and just say, hey, let's just go for it? Because Lesko hasn't been good in the minors. Honestly, really, our minor teams haven't been that good. Besides Nieve. And Nieve's going to be good. But I got to kind of manage that service time, because I don't really feel like bringing him up yet. I don't know. This rotation's going to need some work this offseason. And so for our last draft, I think we hit pretty well. Yamaguchi 87 potential isn't necessarily great, but he's already pretty well there and good defensively, so it kind of adds to the core that we already have. And, will he play? Probably not, but he could still be a trade piece. I think Duncan McGee's a little bit better. Already got a decent bat, good fielding. Could actually be a good third baseman and 90 potential. Gabriel Dominguez, love the walks per nine. Exact reason I drafted him. The walks per nine was phenomenal. 86 potential is really good. Coronado got injured. He actually did have like 95 potential, I think. Or like, 90, or I think it was 85 to 90 potential. But he was injured, and I'm not taking a guy who's 75 to 80 potential for a trade piece. So not really worth it to me. Darren Gibbs, 90 potential, 48 overall. That's a trade piece. And these two guys were bad. There was just nothing left on my board. Oh, and Mike Jones, 67 overall, good against lefties, 93 potential. Yeah. Another great player going to the Nationals. Nationals are going to be stacked in this. So you're telling me in 2 weeks he did that? 2 weeks. Tibbs took Rookie of the Month. All right, he can have it for the rest of the season. With 1 month left to play, the Rays have already clinched their playoff spot and are probably going to win the AL East pretty easily, but we still have a chance of making it in the wild card. And right now we're holding a pretty good lead, 9 games over the Orioles. So as long as we don't collapse in the latter half of this season, I think we'll be okay, and we should be able to make a playoff appearance as a wild card team. How is he leading this race? He's played 44 games. Chung's played 123. How embarrassed would you be if you were the first round pick in 2025? First round draft pick, right? Play a full season like I got the rookie of the -4. I got the rookie year in the bag, and a guy who just decides to start playing after the All-Star break is gonna take the award from you. Wow. So we finished our season 95 and 67, missing the division, but still making the playoffs, winning the wild card. And we'll be taking on the Orioles in the first round of the postseason. No way. James Tibbs wins Rookie of the Year. He started for 2.5 months and won Rookie of the Year. How bad is the AL? Anyways, okay, Aaron Judge, MVP, 320, 41 home runs, 120 RBIs for the New York Yankees. Cy Young goes to Cole Ragans of the Kansas City Royals, who had a 3.02 ERA and 230 strikeouts. You could argue another... It's not bad. It's not bad, though. So, not a complete robbery, I don't think. I think the strikeouts really help on that one. I have to see this, though. 373? He almost hit... Okay. All right. Anyways, on the NL side, Shohei Ohtani wins the MVP, 264, 39 home runs, 128 RBIs. He definitely robs Ronald Acuna or James Wood. That's ridiculous. When it comes to the Cy Young, Spencer Strider wins that with a 2.34 ERA, 50-7 and 234 strikeouts. They have Scooble, too, because... Wow, the Braves is a great pitching staff. Now, yeah, I just want to look. Was the Rookie of the Year? Yeah, okay, all right. So, AL Rookie of the Year race was just weak. We do have Kyle Harrison leading for winning percentage, which doesn't really mean much. But Jarren Duran leads in doubles and hits with 59 doubles and 197 hits. Batting average this season is led by Aaron Judge with the batting title. 197 hits for Duran leads the way over Bichette and Lawrence Butler. When it comes to doubles, Duran 59. Way ahead of everybody else. Even Silva was the second with 47 on the season, and Duran was second in triples with 11 triples there on the season too. Home runs leader Yordan had 44, tied with Jose Ramirez. Look at Silva down here in fifth with 36. Okay, good season, I guess, from some of our guys for extra base hits. Saves leader was Kevin Kelly, who had 50 saves for the Tampa Bay Rays. Puck was in third with 48. When it comes to ERA, Shane McClanahan led the way with a 2.28 ERA for the Tampa Bay Rays. Fantastic season from him. Could have been Cy Young caliber, honestly. Not like Ragans had a bad year, though. So, strikeout leader, Cole Ragans, 230. And on the NL side, Will Smith gets the batting title, hitting .327 for the Los Angeles Dodgers, above Acuna and James Wood. Hits leader was Ronald Acuna with 195, IKF with 190. Devers was right there in third with 190. When it comes to home runs, Mark Vientos led the way with 43 home runs for the New York Mets. Saves leader is Tanner Scott with 58 saves on the season for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Good year from him. ERA leader Spencer Strider with the 2.34. He also got the Cy Young on the year and led in strikeouts. So 234 strikeouts. Led in ERA, 2.34. Did he also lead in wins? He did not. No Triple Crown. Nobody got sent down in our pitching staff, even though I think the main reason is because nobody was able to be called up. Littell, 5.78, 1.42, bad. Cutter Crawford, 5.12, 1.47 whip, bad. Slayton, 2.71, not that bad. Bednar, 3.92, meh. Not good, but it's all right. I guess the whip is still fine, so not necessarily terrible. Johnny Loizaga, terrible. Bad signing from me. Garrett Whitlock, 3.11 with a 1.27 whip, wasn't that bad. Foley was awful, 5.16 to 1.37, and Puck down to a 3.38 with a 1.43 whip. Not good from him either. Does get 48 saves, but he's getting worse each year too. Despite his rating going up, is getting worse. Crochet 2.93 with a 1.16 whip. Fantastic year for him under a 3 ERA. Kyle Harrison matching it with a 2.93 ERA with a 1.09 whip. Man, imagine if he didn't start off the season with a terrible start, giving up a bunch of runs in the beginning of the season. He could have been back down to maybe that 2 range and there, racked up another 3.8 WAR on the season for himself. Brought up Lesko. He pitched not that bad in the last month of the season. 3.68 with a 1.32. He'll probably stay this next season. Bello. When do you run out of patience for a guy? That's the big question, I think. And then Tanner Houck, 3.59 with a 1.28 whip. Nolan Jones gets sent down, but he honestly still is getting on base, so I think that's just more of a problem of us having too many guys up here. Because Jones has not been bad. 241, 340 on base with 9 homers this season in 76 games or 78 games. So not terrible. Trevor Story is terrible. Really, really terrible. Really, I'm so glad he's off contract. That extra money is going to go a long way, I think, for us this offseason. I'm going to be excited to have $23 million extra to spend. And we're going to have to spend it, I think. I think this is the year where the Red Sox are known for essentially going in and making major investments when it comes to them being really, really close to winning. And I can see us with this core, we're close to winning. And we have an abundance of assets. I think it's time to cash in, and we have some extra money to work with. So it's going to be something we should do. Edward Julian, 187, small sample size. Connor Wong, not bad. 261. Pretty good. Lefty specialist catcher. 261 is pretty good for that. Jonah Bride only came up in September. Small sample size. Roman Anthony, 230. 20 home runs. 52 RBIs. He was good defensively, but made me ask questions, I guess, this season with a 1.6 WAR. Jarren Duran, 294. 17 home runs. 65 RBIs. And a ton of extra base hits. That's 87 extra base hits for Jarren Duran on the season. Ends up with an 831 OPS and 4.8 WAR on the season. Probably a gold. Didn't get a gold glove from that, but gold glove caliber for Jarren Duran. Really good. Julian Silva, 36 homers, 104 RBIs, 258 average. That is going to give him another 850 OPS season. Not an 892, so not as good as he was his rookie year, but still fantastic for Julian Silva. Wilyer Abreu, 22 homers, 269 average for him. Tristan Casas, 274 with 19 homers. Tibbs, man. Tibbs, 241 at-bats. Only played 61 games. Racked up 21 doubles, 13 homers, 90 hits in 61 games. 373 average, 1,000 OPS, and 3.6 WAR in 61 games. He kind of throws a wrench into the whole plans by being too good. And it gives us an abundance of outfielders, I guess. Carlos Nevaez, 252, 9 homers, 32 RBIs. Khristian Campbell, 29 homers, 310 average, 85 RBIs. Really good from Khristian Campbell, who puts it together this season at second base. We kind of ask questions after 2026, but he's our second baseman. Ceddane Raffaela, 233, 8 homers, 62 RBIs, was meh, and Marcelo Mayer, 251, 15 home runs, and 78 RBIs for a 702 OPS. I'm not really that great yet, so we kind of have an abundance of guys. So there's a good chance we could cash in on some of them, maybe trade some of these guys to get something really, really special this next year, because we have Shane Idom who could come up at some point. I think that means maybe Casas is expendable, which could be interesting, or maybe we trade Idom instead of Casas. But it just depends on what's available and what guys have value in the minors and what the rest of the league sees. Because I also think we can move off of one of the outfielders, and so that's kind of going to be what we're going to look at. We are taking on Baltimore to go on to take on Tampa Bay. And so our rotation for the first series, the wild card series against the Orioles, who beat us last year: Crochet, Harrison, Lesko. They have Rodriguez, Eflin, Bradish. Game 1, Crochet versus Rodriguez. We win this one 4-0, shutting them out. Crochet with a phenomenal game. 9 innings, 12 strikeouts, no runs. Great game from Crochet. Kyle Harrison in Game 2 versus Zach Eflin. We win this one. Our big 2 lefties dominate their games, and we are advancing to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. So I think I'm going to go with the beginning of the rotation, but I don't want to pitch with Bello, so we're actually going to make a pitching change here. We're not going to go to Bello. We're going to do that, and then we're going to go back to Crochet and Harrison for the end of the series if we need to. All right. Game 1, Dylan Lesko versus Shane McClanahan in Tampa Bay. Can we take down and beat the Rays in the ALDS? We lose Game 1, giving up 7 runs. Lesko gets lit up. Probably shouldn't have started him. Okay, let's ignore that. We just have to win 3 of these now. All right. Tanner Houck versus Shane Baz in Game 2. Oh. Okay. Can we win games in Boston? Crochet versus Taj Bradley. We can. Okay, we had a pitching staff. We could win that one. Game 4. Kyle Harrison versus Walker Buehler. We get lit up. We lose 7-12. Oh my God. Harrison gets destroyed in this one. Tampa Bay's offense. Wow. They're taking on the A's. Dodgers against the Brewers in the NL side. The Brewers defeat the A's in the 2028 World Series. Jackson Chourio wins World Series MVP for the Brewers, hitting 4 homers in the World Series against the A's. Postseason MVP Jacob Wilson hit 451 in the postseason for the A's. And Josh Smith, Jackson Chourio, and Bryce Terang end up leading the way for the Brewers. They make it to back-to-back World Series. I think it's time that we make our investment. So this offseason, our plan is going to be, we are going to make an investment. We are going to probably sell off on somebody. I don't know if it's going to be Abreu. I don't know if it's going to be Duran. I don't know if it's going to be Casas. It depends on the value and the level of investment we are going to make. I think in the pitching staff, the only guys that are safe are Crochet and Harrison. Everybody else is up for grabs, honestly, because I don't trust anything with our rotation right now. And in the lineup, I mean, Silva's okay. Silva's safe. I think Tibbs has got to play next year. So that's about it, really. We just got to figure out what we're going to do next year, because I think we're right on the edge. But I need, amongst anything, I need better pitching. A keystone to Red Sox history is making deals when you are just about to contend, just to get you just enough wins to finally be able to win playoff games. And where we are at, we have an abundance of talent in the outfield, and we are really failing when it comes to pitching. And so Nick Lodolo is going to be a pitcher I am going to trade for now of the Detroit Tigers. He had a phenomenal year last year, and so we're going to have to give up a good amount for him. We are trading Wilyer Abreu, Antonio Anderson, and Dario Laverde. 2 good prospects, and Wilyer Abreu, who is an all-star caliber right fielder, for a starting pitcher who will hopefully be able to cement as the 3rd best pitcher in our rotation, if not 2nd. I don't know if Harrison can continue this at the level, but that gives us 3 really, really good left-handed starters. When we look at free agency this year, we are pretty much going to try to do our bullpen fix in free agency. I could make some trades for some pieces, and I might still if I'm unable to sign some guys, but I think a big thing to go after is to try to get a big closer in Emmanuel Clase, who could be huge to add to this rotation, and actually have it. And then we can move Puck to a setup spot, and I feel a lot more confident with Puck at setup and Clase at closer than having Puck at closer and Jason Foley at setup. And so then we have that. I'm also going to think about bringing Hicks back if I can get him for cheap. Just 1 year. We'll see if he's, he was good in the last year with us. We'll see if he's still okay. And I need to bring Connor Wong back because I need a lefty platoon catcher. And with the pen to the paper, we are going to have a star closer here in Boston. Taking a look at the 2029 season, this is a year that I think would be a good time to finally make a run, at least to the ALCS. We are going to have a slightly more invested into starting rotation. 3 top-tier lefties in Crochet, Harrison, and Lodolo. The back end's a little weak. I could have still got some free agent pitchers. There were actually some that were available near the end of free agency. That probably would have been a good deal. Could have got a good contract for. But the problem is, I think we have a bunch of guys that could pitch, which if you're going to do it and try to be, spend your money correctly, you got to pay the guys that are going to be $780,000 and not the guys that are going to be $20 million if you can. And so Tanner Houck is still here. Lesko is going to pitch, and then Bryan Bello's in the bullpen. And man, please put it together, dude. Slayton, Bednar, Hicks, Littell, Foley, Puck, and Clase in the back end of the rotation. The reason I say what we could do is Aaron Luke could come up at any point this year if we need him, and Jose Bello could come up at any point this season if we need him. We also have Josh Winkowski in the bullpen if we need him, and Diego Nieve in the bullpen if we need him. So 4 replacement level pitchers that I think could come in and take a spot if we needed to. 1 that we drafted, 1 that we traded for, 1 that we traded for, 1 that we drafted. So that ends up being kind of what we have in the pitching rotation. The lineup no longer has Wilyer Abreu. We traded him for a pitcher, and the reason we were able to do that is because of James Tibbs last year getting Rookie of the Year. We now have 3 straight Rookie of the Years in the outfield. Roman Anthony got it, then Julian Silva got it, and then James Tibbs got it. So I feel like that's got to be our outfield. And we still have Ceddane Raffaela who could be in the outfield, Nolan Jones, and I know I have more guys too. So we'll see what we end up having to do with our possible, hopefully Tibbs plays how he did last year. I'm going to doubt that he's going to play to that level, but if he ends up having that level of production, I'd still be very happy. The other signing that we made was Trey Sweeney. He was left over in spring training. He was still sitting there, and I realized that I needed a lefty platoon bat to play shortstop because my current other option was Ceddane Raffaela, who has 39 contact, or Edward Julian, who has 42, or Nolan Jones, who has 59. Nolan Jones was going to be the choice. I decided, let's just go get a free agent shortstop. Trey Sweeney was available, and he actually wasn't that bad last year. So he wasn't good, but he wasn't that bad. So we'll see what we can do with him. Maybe he'll be good, maybe he won't. And that'll be the rest of that lineup. We're not doing any more drafts. We're going to let the CPU take over. So we should be a contender this year with really good pitching staff. We are leading the division 55-41, only by 2 games over the Rays and 2.5 over the Orioles. It's a pretty competitive AL East, and we haven't necessarily been fantastic this season. I think those aces getting lit up have not really helped show. I mean, I'm thinking that, though, that all 3 of them should kind of improve back to their averages over the latter half of the season. So I'm actually expecting this team to improve throughout the year rather than my normal expectation of a team getting worse, because we've had a bad start. And when you have a bad start with your pitching staff, generally that means they're actually going to improve over the season, or you just DFA the guys that you want to get rid of. And so despite sporting 3 aces, we don't get a single one to start in the All-Star game. Now, this is what's disappointing for me. George Kirby was actually one of the pitchers I looked at in the latter half, and I was like, he's actually pretty cheap. I could probably sign him. I don't know why they signed him to $25 million a year. I probably could have got him for like 18. But didn't do that. Instead, just stuck with our guys. Whatever. AJ Puck, no longer in the closer role. .53 ERA. What a season he has had in the setup role. He is regressing, so I'm actually kind of happy for us to move to Class A as a potential closer, but I like that this is, as our setup, really happy. We also have the best closer so far in the league with Emmanuel Clase, 2.35 ERA with a .89 WHIP. Obviously, these guys have a little bit better ERAs, but I think the WHIP matters more to show that, you know, Clase has given up some extra runs, if more than anything, and we just, you know, that's why he loses those games or gets those losses, because Hader's 0-7 with a 1.62. Like, that means that he's only getting put in one-run games and losing those games. When it comes to the rest of the lineup, I don't know if we're going to have any other All-Stars besides Julian Silva, who is an All-Star starter at left field with 20 home runs, 67 RBIs, hitting .300. Yordan Alvarez, now with the Royals, has 34 homers. Jarren Duran, also an All-Star this year. A little bit worse than he was last year, but still an All-Star caliber player. And so our two All-Stars are both our left fielders. None of the young guys have really shown off. I mean, I guess Mayer's hurt right now, but Roman Anthony hasn't. We did get the All-Star from Campbell the one time, and so I want to see more progression from our players, and I'm hoping that I can see that. Sometimes I watch the CPU draft, and I just ask questions like, what were they even doing? Like, what's the point of anything they were doing? Like, waste of time for you to even exist. I might as well have drafted and just went into the draft and just picked random guys that I didn't scout. Because what were you even doing? Well, we're 77-58, so we're still leading our division. The pitching staff has not really improved yet. Maybe we got one more month for them to get back on track. The big thing I think losing Wilyer Abreu did is we just have kind of a gap, I think. I went with Tibbs at right field for the first half, and he was so bad in right field that I had to move him to DH and move Silva back out to the outfield, which is okay. Silva's great, so I'm fine with that. I have Silva, Anthony, and Raffaela out there. But Tibbs just wasn't good. So I don't know, maybe the defensive thing has hurt us with our pitching. We're okay with slugging. We have a lot of power this season. So, see if we can hold on to this lead in the AL East. 91-71, we win our division and we'll be taking on the Yankees in the division series. We do have an award winner on the season. Julian Silva gets a Hank Aaron Award this year, best OPS in the league. Yordan Alvarez wins the MVP for the Kansas City Royals, hitting .276 for 51 home runs, 120 RBIs. I want to mention, the Royals did not lose a single game to us. Every time we played them, I watched, we got swept, and they crushed our pitching. Especially Crochet, Lodolo, and Harrison. They crushed our lefty pitching this season. And so I really, really don't want to see them in the playoffs. But I think we might actually have to. So let's hope that we don't have to. I think we do, though. Yordan Alvarez, 51, 120. Gunner now with the Mariners, finishes second in that race. And Julian Silva finishes third, 339 home runs, 111 RBIs. Cy Young goes to Shane McClanahan of the Tampa Bay Rays, who had a 2.06 ERA, 185 strikeouts on the year. When it comes to the NL side, oh, that hurts. Rafael Devers wins the MVP. 288 average, 50 home runs, 118 RBIs. Oh, that's painful. Okay, all right. Tatis second, and Acuna now with the Giants as well in third. Cy Young goes to Skubal of the Braves. Oh, that's not good. He's a 99 overall. Okay, all right. He's a 99 overall. 7 WAR. He's playing third base still. Oof. We do have some league leaders. Jarren Duran with doubles, Julian Silva with runs, and Julian Silva with OPS with 957 OPS on the season. Jacob Wilson wins the batting title, hitting .323, just beating Tristan Casas, who hit .322 on the season. Silva in third with a .300 average. Hits leader, Jacob Wilson, 212 hits for the shortstop of the A's. We did have second with Silva with 190. Duran had 184. Casas had 176. So we had a really good offense from the top end of our lineup. Pretty good there. Double leader, Duran, 47. Triple leader, Silva, 13. And Silva was third in home runs as Jordan led the way with 51. Saves leader is Christian Haynes. Third round pick in the 2025 draft. 53 saves, 91 overall. Okay, Clase was fourth in that one, in that race, as that was actually a tie between him and Kevin Kelly. ERA leader, Shane McClanahan with a 2.06 ERA, and your strikeout leader was Cole Reagans with 218. On the NL side, the batting title goes to Ivan Herrera of the Cardinals, who hit 327. Your hits leader was Victor Robles with 188 hits, beating out Devers and Acuna, who were right behind him in those. Your home run leader, Rafael Devers with 50, right above Pete Alonso with the Brewers. Saves leader in the NL was Tyler Holton, now with the Dodgers with 50 saves on the year. Your ERA crown goes to DJ Hers, the 2.61 ERA, just beating out Casey Mize' 2.62 with the Cardinals. And your strikeout leader, Mackenzie Gore with 203, as you see brave at the very top. Justin Slayton gets sent down. He was seeing some massive regression this year. 285, 112 whip. I don't see why. He put together a really good year. The game just decided Slayton is probably done here. When it comes to our actual rotation, Bryan Bello finally puts it together, though it's going to be in the bullpen. 307. I mean, maybe he has to start next year, or maybe he has to start during this playoff run. I don't know. Finally puts it together this year. Ends up having a pretty good season, but that's out of the bullpen. Winkowski didn't give up a single run when he came up in the last month of the season. Bednar with a 3 ERA. Jordan Hicks, 3.92 with a 1.42 whip. Yeah. I mean, I'd sign him to a one-year deal for a reason. Jason Foley, 1.83 with a 0.84 was very good. AJ Puck was very good, and Clase. So our 7, 8, 9 inning is really good. If we can get to that, this 3-man punch is going to hit so hard in this postseason. But we have to get the wins then from the starting rotation. And Crochet, 3.58 with a 1.22 whip, it's just another season where I'm like, I know he can pitch like this. Why is he not? Kyle Harrison, 3.16 with a 1.12 whip, another great season for Harrison, who does go down in overall a little bit, but another 3-WAR year for him. Really good there. Lodolo, that wasn't, I mean, I guess he got lit up early in the year. Maybe I was wrong to think he was really good, but he should be better than that. So, Tanner Houck, 4.14 with a 1.31, wasn't very good, and Dylan Lesko, 4.85 with a 1.54, wasn't very good either. I'll go Bello. I don't know. I'll go Bello, I guess. Oh, Aaron Luke also played 4.91. He wasn't good. I brought him up. I was like, I think I DFA'd Littell because he had like a 6 ERA, and I brought Luke up, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to bring Luke up, and we're just going to try him. Yeah, he was bad. So, all right, this is going to be a fun playoff run. We really didn't fix the pitching rotation at all. Lineup-wise, I brought up Luis Urias. I signed him out of free agency to be our kind of like, hey, maybe you can help fix this gap that I no longer can fulfill without having Marcelo Mayer. He was terrible. Nobody else got sent down, but yeah, that was bad. Connor Wong, 283, really good at catcher. I mean, we got him for another 2 years after this one. Pretty good deal for that. Trey Sweeney, terrible. That was a bad signing. I was really hoping he would be better. He was not. He was not at all. Still is a good defensive player, so he's fine. Nolan Jones, 245, 8 home runs, 26 RBIs. Jonah Bride didn't play this year. Jaron Duran, 272, 16 homers, 76 RBIs was good for him. 339 home runs and 111 RBIs. For Julian Silva was our best bat in the lineup. Roman Anthony hit 28 homers, 253 average with 85 RBIs. How much WAR did he rack up this season? 4.5 thousand fielding percentage. No Gold Glove though. Tristan Casas, 322, 34 home runs, 87 RBIs on the season. James Tibbs, 23 homers, 83 RBIs, 267 average with 317 on base. So not as good as he was last year. And the one thing I had to show was I didn't have him out in the outfield for very long, and he committed 6 errors with a .965 fielding percentage. So only gets .2 WAR this season because he was so bad in the field that I had to take him out of the field. Like, really bad. Carlos Narvaez, 253 with 10 homers. Khristian Campbell, 277 with 14 homers. Rafaela, 228 with 14. And Edward Julian had to play 212, 8 homers. This part of this lineup is just, I can't figure out this infield. And it's not like Marcelo Mayer was good before he went down anyways. Like, I really want him to be something, but this is just not good enough. It's just not good enough for a shortstop that we have invested so much into. And you really want him to be your franchise shortstop. He's a really, really well-respected prospect, and he's just not performing like that. And so we have the New York Yankees in this first round matchup, winner to take on the Kansas City Royals. Not really happy about that one, but okay. Can we take down the New York Yankees? They have Hunter Brown, Matt Manning, and Max Fried. We have Crochet, Harrison, and Lodolo. They also have just a really good pitching staff, too. Crochet in Game 1 versus Hunter Brown. We get annihilated. Lose 2-12 here in Boston to the Yankees. Harrison versus Manning in Game 2. We get the victory from Harrison. This is going to leave it down to Lodolo versus Max Fried in Game 3 to advance to play the Kansas City Royals in the ALDS. We cannot. We are eliminated by the Yankees. At least we lost to the World Series contender out of the AL, but you never want that to be the Yankees. Braves defeat the Yankees in the World Series. Michael Harris is the World Series MVP for the Atlanta Braves. Postseason MVP Spencer Jones for the Yankees, and Michael Harris for the Braves. Did I say A's before? I might have. The Braves pitching staff, I mean, they've got Skubal Bubich, Mackenzie Gore, Spencer Strider. Like, I'm trying to build a decent pitching staff. The Braves just built a God squad. Another year, another disappointment. And seeing Devers on the other side getting an MVP just hurts more. Man, can this young core just do something? Please. Progress. Be something. Be useful. Be what we expect you to be. I mean, when we look at free agency, it doesn't matter. We have to bet on the young guys to finally become what we're expecting of them. They haven't. And if we're building around this core and this young core, we need them to. So I have to just add more pitching. This is going to be the year we're going to spend. We have to spend now because I don't see us really contending. If they can't turn it around and become something this year, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen for this core. So this is the year. It has to happen. We're going to go spend a bunch of money on a starting pitcher, either Green or Skeens, whichever one I can get. And hope, essentially, that our young core, Rafaela, Campbell, Mayer, and Anthony, can do something this season. I'll probably bring up Quiros. I'll probably bring up Idem, and we're gonna go young with the lineup to save the cash on the lineup side and hope that those guys can do it. Maybe Silva will just get an MVP and his offense will be enough that I don't even have to think about it. We're also going to make an investment in a player that I've always kind of wanted to get but never have gotten, and that's going to be Nico Hoerner. One of the reasons I want this is because I need a backup plan for Marcelo Mayer, and I especially just need somebody who can hit lefties. Nico Hoerner can hit lefties. If anything, that's what he can do. And so I need him to be the middle infielder that can play defense and hit lefties if I can't find somebody else, or if Mayer and Rafaela cannot put this season together. And one of those two pitchers we will not be getting, because of course he's going to the Dodgers. And pitcher 2 off the board, because he's going to the Twins. Pitcher 3 off the board, because he's also going to the Dodgers. Okay, I got one. I got a pitcher. It's Bryce Miller. It's not as good as the other ones. No matter what, I think this is our last year, and that's because the Crochet contract ends. We're going to have to pay Silva pretty soon after this year. We're going to have to be in a position where, I mean, the extensions are there, but we're talking about soon with some of the other guys. When you look at Khristian Campbell's contract, $7.5 million is still a good deal. I guess we're technically in a good spot with that, and Rafaela's is. But Bello's contract should expire soon as well. So we're just kind of in a spot where I think this is a good point to show the end of the window right here. And so we got to win now. We've invested in winning now with Bryce Miller. I mean, technically this team could still contend for a couple more years, but I'd say if you don't win by 2030, what was the point? And so pitching rotation: Crochet, Harrison, Lodolo, Bello, Bryce Miller with Tanner Houck. I brought up Jose Bello to be in the bullpen, Jordan Hicks, Cooper Criswell, Puck, Diego Nieve, and Emmanuel Clase in the bullpen. This should be a good pitching rotation. We do have guys coming. I think Danny Riddick could come up at any point. So basically I'm saying, like, this is the end of this window. After this, we have a whole new core ready to come up. And so this is the last shot with this core before we are moving to the next young core. And when I look at the lineup, you can say the same thing. Jarren Duran's 33. Like, this team is already old. Rowan Anthony's 25. I guess he's technically not that old. And Myers 27. But, like, they're not a young core anymore. So Duran, Nico Horner is going to play at second. Silva, Anthony, Casas, Khristian Campbell, James Tibbs. I also brought up this guy who I think I got in a trade piece. Marcus MacArthur is going to play against lefties instead of Marcelo Mayer. Shane Idom is going to be the DH instead of a Tibbs against lefties. And if Tibbs is not good this year, or if Casas is not good this year, Shane Idom will just jump into the lineup himself. So last year, we better win something. And I think Kyle Harrison, first 6 games, once again, only giving up 7 runs. We're back to the actual Kyle Harrison we saw a couple years ago. That was not a fluke. Kyle Harrison is legit. So really, in the trade package, it was Devers for Harrison. Devers got an MVP. Can Harrison either get a Cy Young or lead us to something? I mean, he deserved the one in 2027. But can he lead us to World Series as our ace? Tibbs dislocates his ankle. He's going to be out for 6 months, so Idom is going to take the DH. Why are you so bad? So bad. We are 60-38, holding on to the AL East lead for probably the largest lead we've had for the entirety of this rebuild. Probably the best team we've had, too, because look at that offense. 272 average right now. Looks like the lineup has put it together. The rotation, maybe not, but our lineup, definitely. We are getting some good production. I say that as if our all-star starter isn't Kyle Harrison with a 1.3 ERA, 0.89 whip. Carter Crawford, now with Tampa, is also an all-star, so that hurts. He never played like that for us. Good for them, I guess. Garrett Crochet, also an all-star, too. So we do have 2 starting pitchers who are all-stars. Clase is an all-star for us. I mean, 1.42 ERA right now. Really good season from him so far. Do we have any others? Henry Davis is an all-star? Okay, that's interesting. Silva, Julian Silva is an all-star, 23 homers, 318 average on the season. And Jarren Duran is also an all-star, 320 with 15 homers. And nobody else? Nope, nobody else, but still, that's great. So we had 2 bats, Silva and Duran, kind of like they normally always were. And then Clase, Harrison, and Crochet. We're 90-47 with a month left of play on a 10-game win streak, too. Yeah. Pitching staff starting to put it together, I think, in this latter half. I took Bello out of the starting rotation. It's really improved that. And we're a playoff team. Should have a bye. The question will just... We need to get to the ALCS. We haven't done that yet. And then we have to get to the World Series because this is it. 106-56, our best season yet. We win the division, and we'll be taking on the winner of the wild card playoff game. 7 awards? Oh my God, we were dominant. Emmanuel Clase, Delivery Man of the Year. Cy Young, Kyle Harrison. That's what we wanted to see. We're waiting for that one. Hank Aaron, Julian Silva. Rookie of the Year, Shane Idom. MVP, Julian Silva. Batting title, Julian Silva. Triple Crown, Julian Silva. The 2030 Red Sox are a team of destiny, I guess, here. 332 average, 48 home runs, 145 RBIs for our generational talent, Julian Silva. Now up to a 98 overall. He ends up with 208 hits, 47 doubles, 13 triples, 48 homers, 145 RBIs, over 1,000 OPS. He's going to rack up a grand total of 9.4 WAR this year, too. Oh, that's going to be great. I mean, they truly do have another generational player here in Boston. We thought it might be Roman Anthony. It's Julian Silva. Kyle Harrison, man. 22-1. 1.83 ERA, 174 strikeouts. Finally gets that Cy Young he deserved a couple years back with the 1.47. Another sub-2 ERA season for Kyle Harrison. This time he gave up 38 runs, so, you know. But look at this career ERA for this dude. 2.96 since we really got him into the rotation. So he was here. We finally moved him into the rotation in 2027. 147, 293, 316, 183. Dude has been phenomenal. 5.6 WAR on this season. Really was a good pickup. If there was anything to take out of the Devers trade as a positive, it is this Kyle Harrison deal. Garrett Crochet also finished third in that. Silva with the batting title. Duran was in third. Bregman was in second. So if we kept Bregman, I mean, 64 saves. That's the record. Clase breaks the record for saves. With a 1.13 ERA. With a... Oh, glad I brought him in, too, because, yep. All right. Shane Idom was the Rookie of the Year. We had the Hank Aaron. You could probably go around, and we probably have Silver Sluggers all over the place, too. Wow. On the NL side, Shohei Ohtani wins the MVP for the Dodgers with 49 home runs, 135 RBIs. The Nationals' generational talent finishes second there. And Mackenzie Gore wins the Cy Young in the NL, 2.75 ERA and 223 strikeouts. This list is going to be long, so it's just going to basically be a bunch of red on your screen for the next couple minutes as we show the league leaders. Kyle Harrison leads in ERA, winning percentage, wins, saves goes to Clase, Harrison with whip, Harrison with WAR. If Harrison had strikeouts, we could have had 2 Triple Crowns in the same year. Home runs, Silva. RBIs, Silva. Batting average, Silva. Duran hits, runs, Silva. Slugging percentage, Silva. Let's just look at this. So Julian Silva, 332, ends up getting the batting title there. Duran was in third. Who is this guy? Good for them. I didn't see that name. Silva ends up just dominating there. We have the number 1 and number 2 guy in hits, 209 and 208. So Silva almost had another league leader if Duran doesn't give one more hit than him. Doubles, I see Silva here in third with 47 after Bobby Witt had it. Triples, Silva's in second with 13 under Julio. Home runs, he led just over Nick Kurtz. RBIs, he led. Runs, he led. Wow, the A's. Okay. Stolen bases, he did not, of course. But walks, on base percentage, he led. Slugging percentage, he led. OPS, he led. Wins, Kyle Harrison led. Losses, Kyle Harrison led. Saves, Clase led. ERA, Kyle Harrison led with Crochet in third. Home runs allowed, Harrison. Shutouts, okay. It's a tie. Did we have somebody on there? Oh, I can't see. Strikeouts, we did not. Grayson Rodriguez led. Let's just go then to whip was Harrison. Pitching WAR, Kyle Harrison. Batting WAR, Julian Silva. Wow, that's an American League domination. On the NL side, the batting title goes to Jonathan Aranda, now with the Dodgers. I hate that team so much. Hits leader, Joseph Costa, the generational talent for the Washington Nationals, had 194 hits. Your home run leader was Shohei Ohtani with 49. Devers had 45 right below him. Saves leader was Randy Rodriguez of the Giants with 52 saves on the season. ERA crown goes to Brandon Pfaadt with a 2.55 on the year for the Diamondbacks, and your strikeout leader, Mackenzie Gore, with 223. No one in our rotation got sent down, though Bello should have, really. 6.26, 1.53 whip was terrible. Honestly, I should have DFA'd him, if anything, but I don't know. Jordan Hicks, 3.15, 1.18 whip. I think I've liked having him back in here. He was pretty productive for us, and then he ends up bringing another 1.2 WAR here. Ends up, being pretty productive in general. Cooper Criswell, 3.57 with the 1.22 whip is okay. AJ Puck regressing. Glad we replaced him because 4.02, 1.42, not that great. Tanner Houck, nah, not that great either. Diego Nieve, 1.94 with a 9.9 whip. That's a great setup, man. Josh Winkowski, 2.16, and Clase, 64 saves, 1.13 ERA. Wow. Crochet had a 2.77 with a 119 whip. Good year for him. Harrison, obviously the Cy Young dominant season there. Lodolo, 403 with a 114 was not really a good move. I brought up Jose Bello. 3.6, 122. He was the one who took Bryan Bello's spot, and he's the better Bello. 3.60, 122 whip, ends up with 1.6 WAR on the season, and Bryce Miller was a bad signing. 5.11, 135 whip. Lineup-wise, Marcus MacArthur gets sent down. The second-round pick on 2025, he hit 277 with a 350 on-base percentage and 127 hits on the season. Like, he took the spot in the lineup and was really, really good. Guess just not that great defensively, which could have a thing. But, I mean, as a bat, that's phenomenal. Never brought up Kuros. Just didn't feel like it made sense to because our catchers were playing well. Did Meckler play? Yeah, he didn't really. Okay, in the lineup, Nico Hoerner, 258, was not necessarily a good pickup for us. 332 on base. I mean, he still ended up being fine. 2.7 WAR. He can play second base for the playoff run. Connor Wong, 295, has been a phenomenal catcher for us. Brian Quo, 265, small sample size. Raffaela, 266. He lost a potential. He's down to 1.8 WAR. I'd say not going to be a franchise guy for really any longer. Jarren Duran, 311, led the league in hits with 26 home runs, 83 RBIs. Nico Hoerner, I already mentioned. Then we have our MVP and Triple Crown winner, 332 average, 48 home runs, 145 RBIs, and 208 hits for Julian Silva. Roman Anthony, 234, 37 home runs, and 103 RBIs. He's kind of turned into a power hitter more than anything, but still only a 751 OPS for the guy who's supposed to be our franchise guy. And I mean, he's a 92 overall, so maybe he could get better, but I just doubt it. Tristan Casas, 230, 24 home runs, 74 RBIs. Kind of a down year for him after last year. He kind of did that before. 2029 was just so good that I think this year really reflected that it's probably the end for him. You'd probably have Idem take first base from now on. Khristian Campbell, 250 with 13 home runs. He got worse progressively every single season. Lost the power there. I mean, I guess defensively he's probably better. But no, he's gotten worse every single season. He's still productive, but Marcelo Mayer, 271 with 5 homers and 30 RBIs, 727 OPS, and a 1.7 WAR. Finally puts together some semi-decent season. Blake Sable with a 256 and 16 homers. And Shane Idem, our first-round pick in the first draft of this rebuild, ends up with a 284 average, 26 home runs. He is a perfect DH. He's our Devers, essentially 1.6 WAR as our 4th Rookie of the Year. For our first playoff series in 2030, the last season of this rebuild, we are taking on the Chicago White Sox, a team which we stole the ace from in Garrett Crochet. They have Willie Correa, Luis Garcia, and Kyle Bradish in this one as their top 3. Can we take them down to advance to the ALCS? Crochet versus Correa in Game 1. We win that one 5-1. Big performance so far by Crochet. Cy Young Award winner Kyle Harrison versus Luis Garcia in Game 2 is a 1-3 loss. All right, we have to take a game off of them in Chicago now. Lodolo versus Bradish. Game 3, we win that one. We are up 2-1 for Jose Bello versus Willie Correa. Oh, Bello gets lit up. We lose 1-13. Decisive. Game 5, Bryce Miller versus Noah Schultz. We win. We will be taking on the Mariners in the ALCS. And when you look who's staring us down on the other side, I see San Francisco over there. Oh, that'd be a good one. Please let it be San Francisco. That'd just be fun. All right. Game 1, Crochet versus Grayson Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners. Can we defeat them in Game 1, 3-1? Kyle Harrison versus Logan Gilbert in Game 2 in Boston. We lose that one. AJ Puck seems to have lost it. We lost it with the bullpen. All right, now we have to win a game off of them in Seattle. Dustin May versus Nick Lodolo. We win that one. We are up 2-1. In Game 4, Jose Bello versus Grayson Rodriguez. We lose again. We are tied 2-2. Bryce Miller versus Ryan Sloan in Game 5. We are up 3-2. It's going to go down to Crochet and Harrison versus Gilbert and May. Game 6 in Boston. Crochet versus Logan Gilbert. We win. We'll be taking on the Giants in the World Series. The San Francisco Giants have a 99 overall. It's Rafael Devers. They also have Ronald Acuna. So they have 2 MVPs in their lineup, and their pitching staff is a little bit weaker. They don't have Logan Webb anymore, so... Okay. This is it. Wow, poetic ending here. Game 1 against his former team in the World Series here in 2030. This is to cement who ends up winning the trade, right? No, I think technically it doesn't matter, because you got to think that if Harrison turned into a Cy Young and Devers was an MVP, either team would be in contention no matter what team they were on. So win-win trade, essentially, for both of us so far. Harrison versus Javier in Game 1. We win 5-1 on the back of Kyle Harrison and his pitching. Lodolo versus Carson Whisenhunt in Game 2. We win 8-2. We are up 2-0 on San Francisco. Jose Bello versus Clark Schmidt in Game 3 is a win. We are down to Bryce Miller versus Paul Escalera. I think we got to jump in and quick manage. We have had a phenomenal postseason this year. I mean, almost the White Sox almost beat us, but let's ignore that. As we have to play this one in Oracle to go for the sweep on the Giants here. We have had a great postseason. I want to see it continue. Roman Anthony has played really, really well in this postseason. So has MacArthur. So let's see what we do against Paul Escalera in this one. Start off with not much. It's a very slow start to the game. Escalera does get through, I guess. I mean, we haven't gotten a hit off of him. I'd say that. Double from Marcelo Mayer there. Walk gets men on first and second for Shane Idem. Strikeout. Strikeout. Pop-up. Come on. We had 2 guys on. You guys had to get something in. Fitzgerald gets on to first, steals second. Single from Adames, but the runner is thrown out. He does not score. Devers flies out. Silva gets the walk. Strikeout for Anthony. Strikeout for Casas. Single. Men on first and second for Marcelo Mayer. He strikes out. Bryce Miller versus Acuna. Strike him out. Ground out. And a ground out. Escalera versus Blake Sable here in this one. Walk for Sable to get on to first. Idem. Fielder's choice. He's now on first. Duran walks. Men on first and second for Nico Horner. He strikes out. Julian Silva with 2 men on. He walks. Bases loaded for Roman Anthony in the top of the 5th. He flies out. All right. Still 0-0 here in the bottom of the 5th as Bryce Miller is going to get out of that one. Casas walks. Campbell lines out. Marcelo Mayer hits into a double play, and that's that. Walk. Devers gets an RBI double to take the lead, and a 2-run home run from Ronald Acuna is going to give the Giants a lead as we're going to switch over to, I do not trust Bryan Bello. I guess I'll go to Cooper Criswell. Single for Eldridge, single for Ramos. Double play, we get out of that one. They score 3 in the bottom of the 6th. We need to respond. Ground out, and we do not. Ground out there, ground out, and a single for Fitzgerald. Gets them nothing. Top of the 8th. Top of the lineup. Horner grounds out. Julian Silva flies out. Roman Anthony gets on in an error for Tristan Casas in the top of the 8th. Flies out. Make the pitching change here. We are going to go to Hicks in the bottom of the 8th. Ground out. Strikeout. Pop up. This is the top of the 9th. Khristian Campbell against Randy Rodriguez. Grounds out. Triple from Marcelo Mayer. Gets a man on third. Ground out from Sable. Idem gets him in. Man on second for Jarren Duran, who hits a single. Man on first for Nico Horner. He pops up. We are unable to score. The Giants defeat the Red Sox 3-2. So no sweep. So we'll go to Game 5 here with Crochet going to be on the mound here in San Francisco this time. With the same lineup for us, they are going with Hayden Birdsong this time. Can we get a little bit more offense this time? We had to wait till the 9th to get it last time. Fitzgerald gets a double to lead it off. Strikeout. Devers pops up. Acuna grounds out. Get away with the leadoff double. Do not give up anything. Anthony gets a walk to first. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Offense is stagnant right now for us right now in this World Series. Strikeout for Sable. Single for Idem. Fly out for Duran. Single gets a man on first and second for Silva, who hits into a fielder's choice. We get nothing. Crochet flies out, fly out, and nothing there. Another low-scoring pitcher's duel. Casas gets a single, fly out for Campbell, and a strikeout. Crochet. Devers hits a triple, probably into triples gap here in Oracle. A sac fly from Acuna is going to give a lead as Rafael Devers hit a triple. That changes a little bit. Sable gets a single. Error gets a man on first and second for Jarren Duran. Strikeout. Double play for Nico Hoerner. We get nothing out of that. Fly out, strikeout, solo shot for Austin Wells off Crochet. Julian Silva hits a double. Roman Anthony now up to bat with a man on second. Casas with a single scores a run. It's 2-1. Strikeout for Campbell. Single, men on first and second for Blake Sable here against Hayden Birdsong. They're going to switch to Colin Floyd, and we do not get it. Nick Gonzalez up to bat with a single. Devers strikes out, caught stealing. Acuna flies out. Top of the 7th now. Shane Idom strikes out. Pop up for Duran. Walk for Hoerner. Gets a man on first. Think I'm going to steal second. He steals second for Silva. Man on second for the MVP. He does not get it. Going to the bottom of the 7th for Crochet. Pop up. Single for Wisely. Fly out. Stolen base. A walk. And a line out. He gets out of that one. We're going to go to the bullpen in the 8th. Roman Anthony against Colin Floyd. Against Eric Miller, actually. Single for Roman Anthony. Gets on to first. Casa strikes out. Campbell strikes out. Marcelo Mayer strikes out. We get nothing. We're going to the bullpen here against Fitzgerald. I think he hits lefties well, so I guess I'm going to go to Tanner Houck. Or no, I'll go to Winkowski. Winkowski strikes out Fitzgerald, grounds out against Gonzalez, double for Devers, a walk for Acuna, and a ground out gets us out of that one. Top of the 9th, it is 2-1. We are going to enter the game, and we are going to watch to see if we can take this here in the top of the 9th. Against San Francisco, they're bringing out Randy Rodriguez, reliever of the year for the Oracles. Can he slam the door on us and make us have to go into Boston in Game 6?
Randy Rodriguez comes out trying to close it out. Oh, he's the guy they hope to turn.
And then make the team switch. And let's watch and see what we can do. Blake Sable versus Randy Rodriguez to start off the top of the 9th here in Game 5 of the World Series. He leaves a ball over the middle. Sable's only going to pop it up, though. It looked like he might have been able to get it if it was a line drive, but it was a pop-up. So first out off of first pitch. Down to Shane Idom now with 1 out here in the top of the 9th. With a pitch, Randy Rodriguez, ball outside on the circle changeup. 1-0 count for Shane Idom. Here's another one with the pitch. Another ball outside, four-seam fastball, misses.
Trying to close out a one-run lead here in Game 5 of the World
Here
Series.
is another pitch for Randy Rodriguez. Leaves the ball over the middle, and a grounder gets through. We have a man on first in the top of the 9th. Idom is on first with Jarren Duran, and we're going to the top of our lineup. Duran is going to be up to bat for Randy Rodriguez. He is 0 for 4 on the day. He didn't look that good in Game 4 either. Can he get it? Little momentum. Pop up. Is that going to get into the gap? He hits it deep. It is not going to get to the gap. They get it over there. Big catch. I think that's probably Byron Buxton, I believe they have in their outfield. No, that's Dakota Jordan, who they have out there in center. So Duran does not get through. Nico Hoerner now against Randy Rodriguez. He is not hitting well this postseason. Can he break up that slump he is in and get a hit off Rodriguez and hit Idom in with the pitch? Ball low, four-seam fastball, misses down low. 1-0 count for Nico Hoerner. It's a big one. Here we go with the pitch. Another slider low, misses. 2-0 count for Nico Hoerner here. I'd be excited to see him get on. Even if he can walk, that gives us Silva up the bat. Hits it. That's popped up. It's deep, but it's going to go to the warning track. It's probably not going to be enough. Giants win Game 5. Going back to Boston in Game 6. Another one. We are in Game 6. They have fought back down to 3-2 as we go back to Boston. We are playing this in Fenway here in the 2030 World Series with Kyle Harrison on the mound for us against Cristian Javier. All right. Game 6. Let's see if we can do it this time. Fly out, single for Nick Gonzalez, and a double play. It's kind of a surprise that Rafael Devers hit a triple to basically give them that one. Solo home run from Julian Silva here in Boston. The Fenway Fanatic, The fans are excited right now after their MVP hits a home run to give them a 1-0 lead. And Tristan Casas with a 2-run home run to make it 3-0 in the first. The Red Sox fans are just everywhere right now. I can't believe we are able to do that quickly. Can we get something? Never mind. Dakota Jordan hits a 3-run home run off Kyle Harrison to ruin our momentum. Okay, back to a tie game. Harrison strikes out Fitzgerald, ground out, and Devers gets out. Javier Duran. I wanted to say Joan, and I meant to say Jaron with the triple. We're going to have to go for the sac fly for Horner. Got to get him in. So we are back up 4-3 after the triple by Duran. Ground out for Silva and strikeout for Anthony. Harrison versus Acuna. Ground out. Single for Ramos. Single for Wisely. Single. Bases loaded for Dakota Jordan. Sac fly gets another man in to tie it, and a ground out. I think that's going to be the end of Harrison's day. Single for Tristan Casas. Walk amidst men on first and second for Marcelo Mayer. Strikeout. Sable on ground out. We have a man on second and third for Shane Idem. Can he hit them in? He flies out. We're going to go and make the pitching change here. I think I'm going to go to... I don't know who I'd be saving, because I think we're going Lodolo or Crochet for the last game. I don't trust him. Fly out, ground out, walk, pop up. Okay, that was 1 inning. I wanted one inning out of Bryan Bello. Duran up to bat, strikes out. Horner grounds out. Silva grounds out. We're going away from Bryan Bello. I do not trust him. Going to Jordan Hicks against Wisely. Pop up, ground out. Dakota Jordan with a single and a pop up. Dakota Jordan is playing well in this one. They have Christian Javier going to switch to Johan Reyes for Roman Anthony, who strikes out. Casas lines out, and Campbell strikes out. Jordan Hicks versus Tyler Fitzgerald. Strike him out, fly him out, fly him out. Bottom of the 7th, Marcelo Mayer versus Johan Reyes. Pops up. Fly out for Blake Sable. And a solo shot for Shane Idem, your rookie of the year. Your first-round pick in 2025 takes a 5-4 lead as they're going to go to Sean Jelly now. Single for Duran. Steals second. Horner against Jelly with a man on second is going to fly. Horner has been terrible. All right, we're going to make the pitching change to Diego Nieve in the top of the 8th. Error gets Acuna on first. They're going to go with a pinch runner for Acuna. Pop up. Sack bunt gets Buxton over to second. Eldridge hits a 2-run shot off Diego Nieve, and the game is back in the Giants' favor. Okay, they're going to have to go to Colin Floyd. Silva versus Colin Floyd strikes out. Roman Anthony versus Colin Floyd strikes out. Tristan Casas versus Colin Floyd walks. Man on first for Khristian Campbell. We get nothing. Diego Nieve. What was that? We have AJ Puck going to come in against Austin Wells. He flies out. Double for Fitzgerald. Single gets another man in. We're down 2 runs. A double for Devers. We're down 3 runs. I'm going to have to switch again. We're going to have to go to, I guess, Criswell for Buxton. Strikes out. Walk for Ramos. They are up 3 here in the bottom of the 9th. They just blew up our bullpen. Single for Mayer against Randy Rodriguez. Strikeout for Sable. Fielder's choice puts Idem on first for Duran. And we lose. It is going to be a game 7. If we blow a 3-0 lead in this one, no, we're not wearing City Connects. We are wearing the home jerseys. I'm not even messing with it. We're wearing the home jerseys in Fenway. Lodolo on the mound. Okay, we're going against a lefty. So no Horner. I guess Horner's down here. He's hitting 203. Okay. All right. Campbell's been playing poorly. I don't even know if I can make any changes right now. I just need something, guys. Maybe Marcus MacArthur will be the jump start we need here for Game 7 of the World Series here in Fenway. Lodolo on the mound against Fitzgerald, ground out, fly out, and gets out of the first. Carson Whisenhunt on the mound against Duran, strikeout, ground out for MacArthur, pop up. Second inning, Acuna versus Lodolo, ground out, fly out, and a ground out. Casas versus Whisenhunt. Solo shot, Tristan Casas, 1-0 lead for the Red Sox. Single for Khristian Campbell. Double gets another man in for Connor Wong. We are up 2-0. Roman Anthony flies out. Idem strikes out. Single for Nico Horner. Man on first with a 3-0 lead for Duran. Lodolo just needs to get a couple innings. I can go to Crochet if I need to. Single for Eldridge. Strikeout for Jordan. Error gets a man on second and third for Fitzgerald. 3-run shot nullifies the lead we just put ourselves out to. Fly out for Gonzalez. Ground out for Devers. 3-3 in the bottom of the third. MacArthur gets a single to get on to first. Silva gets an error for a man on first and second for Casas. Ground out puts a man on third for Campbell. We are going to go for the sac fly. He walks. Now I'll go for the sac fly. Double play. We had bases loaded and he hit into a double play on a sac fly opportunity. Okay. Lodolo versus Acuna. Ground out. Solo shot for Elliot Ramos. We are down 4-3 in this one. Wisenhunt gets Roman Anthony gets a single. Okay, we've got 2 men on for Nico Horner, who flies out. Duran with 2 men on strikes out. MacArthur, please be my savior, with 2 men on strikes out. Making the pitching change. I have to. We are going to go to Garrett Crochet off of 3 days rest. In Game 7, he's coming in the 5th. Single for Dakota Jordan, single for Austin Wells, 1-run scores, fly out, ground out. We give up another run with Crochet, but we are now down 2. Single for Silva, fly out for Casas, strikeout for Campbell. Wong gets a single, men on the corners for Roman Anthony, who grounds out. Crochet versus Ramos, ground out, strikeout. Eldridge gets a single, Jordan gets a single. We get out of that one. Shane Idem. I think they're going to make the pitching change here. Going to Keaton Wynn. Idem, single. Horner. I really want to pinch hit for you, man. I'm going to pinch hit for you. I'm going to Marcelo Mayer. Fly out for Mayer. Fly out for Duran. Come on, MacArthur. Double! Down 1 with a man on second for Julian Silva. They're making the pitching change to Johan Reyes in the bottom of the 6th. We are still down 1. Top of the 7th. Crochet versus Fitzgerald. Walk. Strikeout for Gonzalez. Strikeout for Devers. Ground out. I'm probably going to Clase as soon as possible. Tristan Casas versus Johan Reyes. Actually, they're going to Eric Miller. Flies out. Khristian Campbell versus Eric Miller. Single. Men on first. Connor Wong flies out. Roman Anthony versus Eric Miller. Fielder's choice. He gets nothing. Can you give me another one? They have a bunch of lefties here. I'm going to make the pitching change, but I'm not going to go to Clase yet. I'm not going to go to Nieve either. I'm going to go to Jose Bello against Ramos. Fly out. Ground out. Fly out. The bottom of the 8th for Shane Idem against Colin Floyd. Ground out. Mayer versus Colin Floyd. Pop out. Duran versus Colin Floyd. Single. Man on first. Steal second. Man on second for Marcus MacArthur, who pops up. We are going to the top of the 9th for Jose Bello, down 1 run. Ground out. Walk for Austin Wells. Fielder's choice. We are here. It's going to be Randy Rodriguez versus the middle of our lineup in Game 7 of the World Series. We cannot blow a 3-0 lead. This is for all the marbles against San Francisco. Right here, he's pitched phenomenally, but with a 5.4 ERA. What can we do? Can our MVP do what he needs to do to win here in Boston? We are down 1 run in the bottom of the 9th. Rodriguez with a pitch. Fastball down the middle, takes it. 0-1 count for Silva. Another pitch. Here we go. Fastball down the middle. Nope. Outside. 1-1. Okay. I really wanted the fastball down the middle for Silva. Come on. Come on, guys. We've been here for a while. 1-1 count. Silva in the bottom of the 9th. To be the hero Boston needs to take the lead to tie it. Fouls it off. To tie it more so. 1-2 count for Julian Silva. With a pitch from Randy Rodriguez. Pops that one up. Don't think we're going to be able to get that one down. He does get down. Center fielder was not able to get there, and he makes it to second. Julian Silva turns what was a pop-up into a double. That could have been real. Okay, we are alive. We are alive. Silva with the hit. Pops it up. I thought that was going to be a pop-out. Dakota Jordan was not fast enough to get to it. We end up getting to second base. Tristan Casas is now up to bat with the game on the line. He just has to hit him in to tie it, to force it into extras. With the pitch. Ball outside. 1-0 count. We have 14 hits on the day. They have 8. We have had far more offense. They have just turned theirs into runs, while we have left men on. Do not leave the last man on. Casas is going to need to do something special here. With the pitch, another ball outside, 2-0 count for Tristan Casas. The Red Sox fans are chanting. They're waving the rally towels. Can we rally? Takes the changeup, low and outside for the strike. 2-1 count for Casas. With another pitch. Hits that one deep, but it's just going to be a pop-up. Is Silva going to run for it, or is he going to stay at second? He should probably stay. No, he's going for it. He goes for third. We have a man on third now. Runner on third for Khristian Campbell. If he hits him in, we can force extras. Or Campbell can go for the heroics. He hasn't hit as many homers as he hit. It's been a little bit of a downward slope for him. He does have a home run in this World Series, but he has not been the power hitter that he was 2 years ago. Khristian Campbell, the bottom of the ninth here against Randy Rodriguez. With the pitch. Hits that one right over to second, gets through! The game is tied. 5-5 here in the bottom of the ninth with Khristian Campbell now on first. Up for Connor Wong. With the pitch. Ball inside. I'd probably do a pinch hit if I was in control right here, but he has played really well this game. He's normally better against lefties than righties, and Randy Rodriguez is obviously a righty. But Connor Wong, if he hits him in, that would be a big piece. I mean, this is the last leftover piece from the Mookie Betts trade, which happened at this point almost 12 seasons ago. So they are getting jelly warmed up. 1-1 count for Connor Wong. Throw it over to first. Eldridge does catch that one. So 1-1 count here. Up the plate. Ball outside. This game wouldn't even be anything if Julian Silva was not able to run it out to second, get over to third on the other play. I mean, his base running is the only reason we are in this right now. Connor Wong with a 2-1 count. Swings and misses at the sinker outside. 2-2 for Connor Wong versus Randy Rodriguez. Another pitch. Ball inside. 3-2 count. Full count with Roman Anthony on deck.
Roman Anthony in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here.
With the pitch. That could have been inside. Don't get there. Eldridge drops it. He probably should have taken that pitch. Broken bat. Made that close, but Eldridge wasn't able to bring it in. Swings that one over to second. That's probably going to be a double play for Connor Wong. Double play. We're going into extras. Top of the 10th. Rafael Devers up to bat. I'm bringing Clase in to start this against Devers. Fly out for Devers. Ground out for Acuna. Strikeout for Ramos. Let's go back in and see what we can do with Roman Anthony now up to bat.
Stepping in for Boston.
Against Randy Rodriguez, tied 5-5 in the bottom of the 10th.
Back to work.
With the pitch.
And that gets the
Strike high. 0-1 count now for Roman Anthony. He hasn't been that great for this entire rebuild. Can he become the hero Boston needs in 2030 against the San Francisco Giants? 1-1 pitch is going to be fouled off. Make that 1-2 for Roman Anthony. With the pitch. Ball's hit hard, but foul. 1-2 count.
An easy pitch to hit. It's much easier to do damage against mistakes, but that's not what that
Another pitch. Swing and a miss. Roman Anthony strikes out. Here in the bottom of the 10th, Randy Rodriguez's first strikeout of his outing here is against Roman Anthony. We are going to Shane Idem, our first round pick in 2025 and Rookie of the Year. Takes a strike high and inside. What a dot by Randy Rodriguez in this one. He's got 2 singles on the day. Can he make it at least a third? I prefer a home run, but I don't know if he'll get that. With the pitch. Fouls that one off. 0-2 count now for Idem here in the bottom of the 10th.
You're in Game 7 of the World Series.
Swing and a miss. Idem goes down in 3 strikes. We are down to Marcelo Mayer now in the bottom of the 10th against Randy Rodriguez. We'll probably stay in here and watch if we go to the top of the 11th. This might be a really long game if we keep going. Slider just misses. Honestly, the ump gave us and gifted us that one. That one looked like it was in the strike zone. With the pitch. Another ball. Gifted another one. 2-0 count now for us for Marcelo Mayer against Randy Rodriguez. With the pitch. Did not gift us that one. Another dot. That's 3 straight dots. That should be strike 3 for Marcelo Mayer. Rodriguez hits a... That's going to be a fly out now for Marcelo Mayer. We are going to the top of the 11th, where Clase is going to be on the mound here. Actually, they're switching to Josh Winkowski against a Brett Wisely. I would not have made that change, but I am no longer in control. 0-1 count now for Wisely. Strike. 0-2 count after the slow cutter. Ends up in the strike zone. The pitch. Oh, he hits him. Winkowski hits him. Man on first for Bryce Eldridge. With the pitch. Drops that sinker low and misses. 1-0 count. Strike. Misses. And is he going to get him out? That's a stolen base. A good throw, Connor Wong. He catches Wisely stealing. 1 out now. What a pop time. 1.73 seconds for Wong to get him out there. All right. Now with 1 out. No man on after the caught stealing there on the stolen base. Eldridge fouls that one off. It's going to be 1-2 for Winkowski versus Eldridge. Pitch. That one misses by a mile. Circle changeup outside 2-2. Misses that one low by just a few inches. 3-2 count. Dakota Jordan on deck. He has been phenomenal these last couple games in the Giants' comeback in this series. With the pitch. Foul hit down to third. Can he get it over there? Yes, that's an out. Big arm over there. I don't even remember who I have over at third. I think that might be Campbell. Yep. Campbell with a big arm gets him out. 2 outs now for Dakota Jordan, who has kind of crushed us so far this series. Against Winkowski. With a pitch. Ball misses outside. 1-0 count now for Dakota Jordan. Ball inside. Come on, Winkowski. Why did the game take out Clase? Why did you guys take out Clase? Winkowski can't throw a strike to save his life. With the pitch. Okay, he threw a strike to save his life. 2-1 count for Dakota Jordan. We really got to get out of this before they get to the middle of their lineup. Oh, big swing and a miss by Dakota Jordan makes it 2-2. They can get out of this one. We can avoid seeing Devers and Acuna if we can score in the bottom of the 11th. With the pitch. Swing and a miss. Dakota Jordan strikes out. Let's go down to the bottom of the 11th. They're switching to Sean Jelly now. Here as we are at the top of our lineup. Jarren Duran leading off the bottom of the 11th against Sean Jelly. With the pitch. Ball misses low. Knuckle curve in the dirt. 1-0 count. Use another one. Ball misses outside. Cutter. 2-0 count for Jarren Duran. Another miss. 3-0 count for Duran with Marcus McArthur on deck.
But you've got to find a way to get ahead in the count quickly. He hasn't. We'll see how this at-bat turns out.
Takes the 3-0 pitch down the middle. 3-1 count. 3-0 take pitch. Makes sense. Against Jelly here with the pitch. Swings, fouls that one off to make it full count now for Duran. Here in the bottom of the 11th. With a pitch. Swing and a miss by Jarren Duran. That's a strikeout. Fought back from down. 3-0 count. Jelly does get the K on Duran, who swings and misses real hard on that one. And it's down to Marcus McArthur. Hit 500 in the series. Can he be our hero today? Swing fouled off. 0-1 count now for Marcus McArthur. Another pitch. Another hit. Is that going to get down? Is it going to get down? It gets down! That's a ground rule double. Marcus McArthur is on second for Julian Silva. What a hit. Just dots inside the foul line. Misses. The outfielder could not get there. By so close, Acuna misses that ball. And so close it's fair. We are now with Julian Silva up to bat with a man on second. The MVP, the Triple Crown winner, swings, is going to hit that short to the shortstop. We're getting nothing out of that one from Silva. It's going to leave Casas now up. He has a solo home run in the second. Can he just hit it deep enough? Can he hit it into a gap to get McArthur in?
I mean, yeah, I'd say the intensity level has gone up a few notches for sure.
With the pitch. Takes the knuckle curve outside for a strike. Hits that one hard. Is it deep? Is it going to be over Acuna's head? It is not. Acuna gets to it. That's the end of the 11th inning. For sake of brevity, we're going to return back to quick manage. I don't want to be in here if this one goes to 15 innings. We are going to go back to quick manage. We'll keep it with Winkowski against Austin Wells. Fly out. Strikeout. Double for Gonzalez. Now we can jump back in to see Devers versus Winkowski.
So the go-ahead run and score.
Man on second for Rafael Devers against Josh Winkowski in the top of the 12th. He is 0 for 5 on the day. 1-0 count. Another pitch. Fouls that one off. 1-1.
2 down, go-ahead run in scoring position here in Game 7 of the World Series.
Here's the next pitch. Misses outside. Slider 2-1 count. Now for Devers here in the World Series. We make sure he doesn't become a hero. With the pitch, fouled off. 2-2. Strike him out. I need the strikeout, Winkowski. With the pitch, that one's hit over to Casas at first, who is going to race Devers over there. And he's going to get him out. We are going now. Still tied into the bottom of the 12th. They're going to keep Jelly up. We have Khristian Campbell now up to bat. He's 3 for 4 on the day. Ball low. Knuckle curve misses. 1-0 count. Oh, hits the sinker down low. Come on, Khristian Campbell. I really just want to walk off home run from somebody, please. The pitch. That one is left floated, but he fouls it off. I don't think he was expecting it. Oh, that was a meatball. It's another one, but it was a little bit lower. 1-2 count now for Khristian Campbell. Jelly must be a little tired here. With the pitch. Misses outside. 2-2 count. Khristian Campbell here against Sean Jelly in the bottom of the 12th in this Giants-Red Sox World Series. With the pitch, is he going to get it? He does not get it past Eldridge at first. That's 1 out. It's a good hit. Just wasn't able to get it past Bryce Eldridge. We are going to Connor Wong now against Sean Jelly here in the bottom of the 12th. For the pitch. Knuckle curve misses down low. 1-0 count now for Wong. Here's the next one. That ball's hit. Is it going to get into the gap? It is. Acuna misses. What's Wong going to do? Can he get around? That ball is rolling. Is he going to get over to second? Is he going to third? He slides into third. Triple Connor Wong. The ball gets past Ronald Acuna, and Connor Wong hits a triple. Khristian Campbell is on his feet. He's fist pumping. Let's see this pitch. Wong hits it right into the gap. Acuna misses the ball. He's unable to get to it. Wong rounds second right here, and he's going to slide into third. Safe, real close on the throw. We've got a man on third now for Roman Anthony with 1 out. He just needs a deep fly ball to get Connor Wong into the home. Oh, knuckle curve. He takes it. He should have swung at that. Just take it. Come on, Roman Anthony. Come on, Roman Anthony. 0-1 count in the bottom of the 12th. It's all down to you. With the pitch, he hits that through the gap. The Red Sox are going to win the World Series in 12 innings behind Roman Anthony and Connor Wong. Game 7. What a game. Roman Anthony is the Red Sox hero. We've done it. He took the pitch, hit it right past the second baseman. He wasn't ready. Fitzgerald was playing in, thinking, looking for the bunt. Oh, and we do it. The Red Sox win in 2030. They are World Series champions. They do not blow a 3-0 lead. The Giants don't win. And the winner of the Devers trade officially becomes the Boston Red Sox. Wow, what an ending. I'm going to tell you, I think my voice is gone after this one. I was not expecting a Game 7 to last this long. We are World Series champions here in 2030. They didn't give us a celebration. Red Sox win the World Series. Your World Series MVP is probably going to be MacArthur. No, it's Tristan Casas who gets the World Series MVP. Roman Anthony with the playoff MVP, who had 354 in the postseason. Bryce Eldridge got it for the Giants. If it was a World Series MVP, it would have been to Dakota Jordan. I mean, what a game he had in Game 6 and Game 7. Wow, we've done it. 7 games, we've done it. 2030, we are World Series champions. And honestly, like I said, the window is over. Crochet is gone. And when you think about it, we're moving into a new core. We've got new guys coming. I think Horner is gone here. Duran's 33. He's going to be 34 next year. You're building around Julian Silva and Roman Anthony. I mean, Roman Anthony is still 25, so you can still technically build around him. But there's a good chance you're rotating to this team around Shane Idom and Marcus MacArthur and Danny Curas and Danny McGee too, or Duncan McGee, and a new core entirely. What a year, though, to end it off on. I guess the question is, who ends up winning that trade, really, in your mindset? I mean, when you look at what Rafael Devers ended up doing by the time he was done for them, you look at the trade pieces that was in this deal for the Giants. I'm stupid. I'm moving to the wrong team. He ends up with an MVP. He ends up with a lot. He gets a grand total of 3 WAR in the first year, 2.9, 7.1, 4.4, 7.1, and 5.6 WAR. Phenomenal career for him, essentially, by the time he's done here. With MVP in 2029, batting title in 2027, Silver Sluggers in 27, 28, 29, and 30, All-Stars in every year that he was there, including an All-Star MVP. doesn't get the World Series ring, that goes to us. And when we look at our team, I mean, first let's look at the injured list and look at Tibbs. Tibbs was hurt this year, was playing okay. I mean, 0.2 WAR. He ends up with 4-point WAR for us, so we get 4-point WAR out of him, 4.1 WAR out of him. When you look at the other guys in our lineup and our roster, you can take a look at Kyle Harrison, Cy Young, second place runner-up the other time. He ends up with, I should probably just subtract the WAR from the San Francisco years. Yeah, so he ends up racking up 18.6 WAR in his time with us. A fantastic starting pitcher, and he's not done yet, so he's still got a couple more years left. You can take a look at not Bryan Bello, but Jose Bello, who in his first year, 3.6 ERA with a 1.6 WAR, wasn't that bad. And Jordan Hicks, who honestly feels like, I think he's kind of the laughingstock of this trade because of how bad he has been in San Francisco this year, but you know, we got a couple WAR out of him in the years that we had him, and that's been pretty productive there. So, yeah, did we lose the WAR in the short term? Yes, of course we did. Rafael Devers is a short-term investment for the Giants, but eventually is a contract that's going to hurt them. The fact that he has improved for the Giants says something. For us, we've got a 20-some-year-old pitcher, a 28-year-old starting pitcher, as well as a 25-year-old starting pitcher, as two guys who could potentially be core pieces. You've got a right fielder in Tibbs, who could be something for a couple more years. Obviously, he's not good at defense, so I don't know how much he's going to produce. But, you know, if you're talking about Duran's going to probably be gone at some point, and then you're building around Anthony and Silva, is Tibbs the other guy? Over time, maybe we end up winning this deal in WAR's sake, but when you end up winning a ring, doesn't really matter. Silva was kind of a lucky thing to say that we got this dude with a triple crown here by this time. Getting that number 1 overall pick in 2026 was a fluke. We are glad we missed the playoffs, essentially, in 2025, because if we did not miss the playoffs in 2025, we don't get a shot at this guy. So, that's it, though. Did we succeed in this rebuild? I think we did. I think by 2030, we won a ring. We did better than San Francisco, who was unable to get over the top of us, and we take it down. We have a core of players who, honestly, I'll say the young core did not develop as I would have liked, but I cannot say anything negative about Roman Anthony right now after doing what he did in the postseason. Maybe he'll parlay that into a great 2031, 2032, and end up being a great player for them in the future. I don't know. But anyways, that's it. Boston traded Rafael Devers. In return, Boston wins the World Series. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Adios.